All right. Oh, no. Now I'm showing the wrong screen for try. Like, I don't even understand. It was fine, and I think it's because I started showing... let me switch that. Because I was not sending not sending any camera before. That's why things weren't lining up.
Oh,
so it automatically prioritizes who has cameras on. But now we're good. Sorry about that. It was sending my Switch screen.
I'm not Corey's Nintendo Switch.
No, not anymore.
I do not have that capability.
You were at a point, but not anymore.
Yeah, you upgrade to the OLED.
Yeah.
Nice.
Welcome everybody. Sorry about the late start. I was setting up a little bit behind schedule because I got sucked into like watching different commercials and movie trailers. But tonight we're playing some Arzette, the world premiere of the final version of the game. I mean,
yeah, very exciting.
And we are joined by the developer Seth, also known as Dopply, who is joining us via Discord, but he is not on camera because he is it okay if I just? I mean,
that's fine.
He just got COVID.
Or it sounds like you're on the back half of it.
Yeah. He's on the mend now, but I could totally understand not feeling up to like appearing on camera. I'd be like, I wouldn't want. I don't blame you.
You're being saved. Trust me.
So is everything good? Everyone hear our audio balance okay?
It should be good. I mean,
yep.
I can always adjust as needed.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So for people who don't know, I have known of this game for about a year now. Mm-hmm. Well, really, we knew you were making something much sooner than that. If anyone remembers, several years back, we had Audie on the stream when we streamed the PC fan ports of the Zelda CDI games, and said fan was Seth, who was right here. And we actually met you. It was when we went to the Limited Run Games retail store opening event.
Right. Yeah, I was there for that. Yeah.
Audie invited us, and he's like, oh, by the way, this is Mr. Dopply, the guy who made the Zelda CDI rebounds. I just lit up. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did that. He did that all weekend, basically, to everybody. Like, oh my God, it's that guy. What's wrong with him?
Yeah. So you let us play like sort of a what's the term? A vertical slice, I guess it would be termed.
It was a vertical slice back then. Yeah.
Yeah, which you had sort of used to. I think you had tried pitching the game to a few people, but not many people would be crazy enough to say yes to something like this. And so you have built this game. It's finished. I played all the way through like a super early version of this.
You did
about a year ago. And one of the things I think is kind of interesting about the development of this game was that you had to do and this was a big part of how you brought John Linneman into it. And I think John has posted a lot of stuff about the game on Twitter and stuff. You had to do the level design kind of first because of the way the backgrounds are drawn. The style that you wanted to replicate with the backgrounds kind of necessitated the level design being mechanics and level design and all that kind of stuff being done before really the background and a lot of other art assets were created. So the game was playable 100% from start to finish super early on. And so the version I played all the way through, it was lacking all but like a handful. It only
hand drawn, like sketched out background,
hand drawn background.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's exactly how the process was. Since it's not tile based, I had to basically design everything ahead of time. And yeah, like you mentioned, mutual friend John Linneman, he helped out on a lot of the level designs. He was really good at helping like sort of guide that sort of thing. And yeah, I would just kind of sketch on graph paper first and try to figure out something that was interesting. And then I'd take that into the game where I'd gray box it out. And then I would make a sketch based on the gray box, and that's what you played for most of it, because it turns out painting a bunch of sketches like that takes a really long time. So,
and a lot of people. I mean, you managed quite a few artists doing sprites, backgrounds, animated cutscenes. I mean, the amount of art assets in this game is kind of insane, and the way that it's been created is just unlike anyone else does.
Yeah.
Making, like, no one makes things this way. It's crazy.
No, there's a reason why. No, it's a very artist driven game, and I think that's probably my favorite part of it is that like every artist that's touched the game, including me, can just sort of like feel it the whole time. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm ready to see it. What about you guys?
Let's dig in. And by the way, the first couple of videos that you'll see when it boots up, I did his CDI logo animation and the game title intro, which is, based strongly on what you would see when you would start, those old CDI games.
So
That's right.
I have control over the game audio, so I will turn it up and down as needed. But of course, you want everybody to be able to hear like the voice acting and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's why we've got your Discord feed here, so I can shut up at the right times. Spencer was asking if the game is available for pre-order. Yeah, you can still pre-order this. I think until like mid-March, but the digital version goes up this week, right?
That's right.
The kingdom of Faramore, new peace
Wednesday,
for an age.
February 14th.
A beautiful, bountiful land.
I'll let this play.
has
When
been
I
ruled
played today,
by the
this was the
royal
first time I
Rotund
saw
family for
this
generations.
artwork here, which is a totally different style from what's actually used in the game, but I think it's just so
Opposed to this
beautiful.
peace was the
way
evil
that
demon
this
lord
that this is
Dimer,
made,
who
like it
amassed
must
an
have just
army
taken
of
so
evil
long to do
in
this
effort to
art.
conquer
Yeah.
the
Oh
land
yeah, this
and
was like
plunge it into
so this
eternal
is
darkness.
Prismacolor on paper.
Driven
It's
by
done by one of
greed
the game's
and
artists,
power,
Gabriel.
several defected to
Gabriel,
Dimer's
and
cause, like
it took
Duke
him
Nodelty,
6 months of
lord
painstaking
the
work to
island
do
nation of MLiG.
before he scanned it
Long
and made it into
battles
the
ensued,
intro you see now.
with hope
Okay, so this is all hand drawn, hand
Oh
colored.
yeah,
I thought it had to be
The
because
king
it's
and
too
his
good,
royal advisor,
so good.
directed an assault upon Dimer's lair.
And do you want to say who the voiceover on this part
The
is?
Princess
yeah. This is
Arzette,
Bonnie Jean
an
Wilbur.
unlikely
This is
hero,
the
Gale,
original voice of Zelda
confronted
narrating.
the demon king.
That's so cool.
In Zelda Wand of Gamelon, I should say.
Arzette, well-versed in
You really went all in
and magic,
on
imprisoned the
recreating
demon king in
the
Book
feel
of Ocarin, a magical prison
of those games.
controlled by the Jewel of Faramore.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple.
His dark army.
We've got her, and we've got the
Ensuring
original voice of
victory for
Link,
the
Jeffrey
forces
Rath. He has a role in the game as well.
Upon
Well,
each
they
use,
both have a couple
the
roles,
Jewel
so
of
Yeah, a
Faramore
couple.
look out for that.
Yeah.
Following Dimer's defeat, the king ordered each
Were they pretty
of the
excited
5
about it?
jewel shards
Oh
to be
yeah,
guarded
they were
at
super into
separate
it.
locations.
Once I went to them, I pitched it.
After
I
the
made sure
war's
they knew I
end,
wasn't
the
crazy.
traitorous
I was like, no, this is a
Duke Nodelty
homage.
was
Yeah.
sentenced
I'm not
to
making
a
fun of you.
lifetime of
This is like a loving homage.
Gale
It's not
retired
like,
as a bard on the
I'm not making fun of
spoils
you.
his
And
own.
once they sort of understood
Princess
that,
Arzette
they were really on
continued to
board.
train,
And that's,
swearing
Right.
I think that's one of the hardest things to get across. We ran into that when we
To that
did
end,
the documentary on
peace
Night Trap.
persisted
We couldn't get a lot of
even
people
with
to
Faramore
agree to be interviewed
for a
because I think
little
everyone thought it was just going to be
a decade.
another hit piece on the game.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to convince people who have, been ridiculed over like this stuff probably for so long that, the intentions are genuine.
Uh huh.
All right. So I've only played a little bit at the beginning here, so I'm going to start a new game. I did notice that there was a, classic controllers option. Is that so? That swaps the button and then press up to jump, obviously. Yes. And
that adds up for it. Sorry, you go ahead.
That'll work with the one-handed controller that Limited Run is also selling, the USB controller, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it'll work with the retro-inspired controller.
By the way, Master Safer says, "Dude, this music is fire." So the music in this is from, if anyone remembers, several years ago. There was this whole big deal that was posted on all the gaming press about how this Kirby Superstar cover piece, that's like the opening of Revenge of Meta Knight, got a Grammy Award. And one of the people behind that, Jake Silverman, also known as Button Masher, he did the music in this, and I believe it's his first
fully scored game,
game project, and it's like he is so good that it's unbelievable to me that he hasn't done this before.
Yeah, I agree. I was very, very lucky.
I hope he gets a lot of work following this, because his style is just straight up video games. It's
it
so
feels
good.
like Red Book audio of the era.
Yeah.
And that's what's great. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start. And there's
it was
10 years of scrubbing floors, finding these.
And here's where you finally get to see the real
but now
style of cutscene that's used throughout the game.
Long last, I have returned. Nodoki, for freeing me, I offer you power.
Yes, Master.
Yeah, looks like there's a question in the chat for me. It says, question for Seth. For the people who've never played or heard of the CDI Zelda games, is there anything beyond the memes in playing Arzette? Well, yes, I think there is. I designed the game to be a fun game first, with a loving homage to the design, art style, and everything else that those games kind of set. Obviously they have a very strong influence on the game, but I took what worked from those original games and sort of tried to make it as good as it could be.
Yeah, I mean, you spent so long on making sure the mechanics feel good and fun to play, enemy behavior, level design. I mean, like I said, I played a build of this a year ago that only had like 2 or 3 characters that actually had cutscenes implemented. Yeah, that gave me a laugh too when I saw this. But there was so little implemented at that point of like all of the fun elements, like the fun aesthetic elements. But I still got pretty hooked on like, oh man, I want to I'm trying to actually, I was trying to figure out all the side quests and stuff like that. I was actually pretty engaged, just figuring out where everything was, even though it was in an extraordinarily visually incomplete state.
What about the sacred beacons? They weakened Dimer before.
I'm afraid that due to complacency, they've been left unlit.
Small there, sorry.
That's good.
Oh well,
right.
What can we do?
It's oh well.
As you know,
Yeah.
Oh well, what can we do?
I love that. My co-writer and producer Adi, also another friend of the show, he helped me with the scripts, and that was one of the things that he put in, which I absolutely loved.
Oh,
Sort of emphasize
not a
the
problem. My ancestors
characterization
lit
of the
sacred
king.
candles throughout the
I love just the bumpy, wrinkly, nonsensical fingers.
Oh yeah.
Where must I go?
Looking like little Vienna
fingers in
sausages.
this game. They definitely make shapes that they should not.
I'll be leaving then.
Good luck.
I also feel strongly that Dale exists
Be safe,
exclusively to be kind of remind us
Wanna
of
defeat
another
Dimer?
character.
Let's get started.
Yeah.
Move left or right to start running.
So this is the tutorial.
Press
You
jump
might
to
recognize
leap.
the familiar
Jumping into
voice.
action.
It's talking
There-
about.
Press attack to
There
slash
is a
the
familiar
sword.
voice here. You know what I
Smart sword.
actually
Interact
love
with both
about
objects
this when I
and
did the
people.
tutorial in
It
this
hurts
earlier
only those
today.
that aren't friendly.
You know, it kind of made me think of the
Slash
same
that bag.
tone that we
Press
went
item to
for
use items.
with
Try bombing some column. Moving up allows you to enter
that
doors.
we
I'm just
went
gonna
for
kind of
with
move
the
through it a little bit faster.
Go in
here.
that door.
yeah the tone
You can
that
crouch
he
by
used for
moving
the
down.
voiceover and the
Moving
writing and
while
everything
crouching
made me
lets
think
you
of what we
duck
did with our
low.
old
This
How to
trick
Beat
gets you into
videos.
tight spaces.
Yes.
you know
Oh
where
yeah.
Your magic
you're sort of
house
like
moves items.
characterizing
Select
things in
items
like
here.
a
View your
somewhat
quest status
awkward
and set
way,
options.
but that's
So
still
much
true and
space,
honest
huh?
and makes sense.
Some paths
Yeah.
are closed to you
Well,
until
yeah,
you
I think that that's important
Keep
for
that
stuff
in
like
mind
this, is
while you
to
explore.
you improve upon it, but you play it as
Remember
straight
to
as you
light
possibly
sacred
can,
beacons.
Yeah.
They'll
at every
open new
turn.
areas.
because then
Exactly.
it makes it feel complete, like authentic. You know, it's not just like just the very idea of it is
Teleportation
funny.
scrolls
Like
allow
there's
you to exit
you
to
know
the
substance
world
to
map
it. You know.
quickly. Go
Yeah.
ahead,
It was important to
take
be
off.
sincere with the writing and just the entire
Well,
game.
what
Like,
are you
not
waiting
cynical
for?
at all.
Defeat Dimer and have some
By the way,
fun.
it's mostly covered at this point, but this entire world map, which will be very zoomed out by the time you beat it, was one of your very special guest artists created
right.
this map.
Yes, Rob Dunleavy. He was the original artist on Faces of Evil. He did all the background art for that game, and I think he also did the world map for Wand of Gamelon. And he made the world map for this game, and he was great. It was super fun to work with him because, according to him, he used a tablet with Photoshop, and like Corel Painter in 1993, all the way back then. And it was sort of like a newer, like he kind of like returning to those roots, but like 30 years later, but with way better technology. So it was very it was a lot of fun.
Seth, Keegan Jacobson was wanting to know about Xbox versions.
Yeah, it's on Xbox Series. It'll be on Series X and S.
Okay, so only on Series for Xbox.
That's correct. Yes.
Well, that's the trend these days.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Goat Simulator 3. It's only playable, much to the chagrin of my kids who wanted to play it on Game Pass. And it's like, oh, you can only play it using the xCloud on Xbox One X.
Oh, there was a super chat from Dad1153. Thank you, saying, question for Seth: what about CDI Zeldas appeal to you? It's one thing to like these games, but reimagining them in Arzette equals above normal fandom.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like you're absolutely not wrong. I think it's just again, Audie's really put it well. He's really like kind of encapsulated my thoughts, which is I feel like that early '90s FMV era like held a lot of promise. Like it felt like a future of gaming that we kind of didn't get.
Yeah.
And just sort of going back to that and sort of like within those sort of limitations and exploring that and being like, well, what if it was good? Like, what if the dream wasn't like fake? Like, what if it was like entertaining?
Yeah.
And just I was just really drawn to that, and just the story behind the development of the original games just really charmed me. Like they did the absolute best they could, how they could, and just everything about that was just super appealing to me.
Kay was asking, what is the internal resolution of this game? I know this one. It's 360p, so that it can be
Right.
2x to the Switch screen and 3x. Wait, I'm losing track. 2x to Switch screen, 3x to 1080p, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it evenly enters your scales up to all the major resolutions.
Yeah. Which means I did not test with RetroTink pre-scaling, but I think it would work pretty well. I don't, the cutscenes were done by a variety of artists, so I don't know for sure if it would pre-scale, if every cutscene would pre-scale
No.
correctly.
Who would do that?
but it definitely works with integer scaling for sure on Retrode 4K. That's how I was playing it today. It was like I was playing the PS5 version, except I wasn't.
Really? You don't think I'm a disgusting rabbit?
Who is this doing the voice here?
You think you could convince the mayor to let me move in
he's
then?
an
Stop
actor
thinking
that
I'm
we
the wolf among us.
recruited. He does a couple voices
If
in the
you
game.
do, this old lantern
His
is
name is
yours.
escaping me at the moment, but he did a phenomenal job.
I love that the FMVs are kind of like a lower frame rate.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's consistent with the frame rate that was used by what were they called? Animation Magic? Is that what it was called? Animation.
The studio that developed the Zelda CDI games. Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one that I didn't learn about until more recently. What's it called? Like I think it was before the Zelda games, or was it after? Like some weird wizard guy or something.
Weird wizard guy. Like there was Zelda's Adventure, if that's what you're thinking of. But...
Oh, look at Corey finding secrets.
But you can kind of tell, like it's it's like you can tell that it's there,
Right, but see the way that your mind is looking for it is so different, I think, compared to like a tile-based game.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I think it kind of creates like a different sense of satisfaction to discover that. Oops, you fell to the beginning of the level. Try again.
But if I die, then it sends me back. That's good.
I am mean. That's what I was thinking of. Kevin Pez put out. Henry Clark was asking any benefit to higher-end consoles or PC. I think this is built around 60 FPS, right?
Yeah, it's built around 60 FPS. Maybe next time we'll do a high refresh rate, but as any developer knows, it's a lot easier said than done.
You explained to me the challenges of arbitrary frame rates. That caused a lot of trouble, and you're like, this is not worth it for this game.
I don't feel like I can make this jump.
No, you can't.
You can't.
Just keep going up.
you need so something. I don't know if this is actually a good a good way to describe this or not, but I was actually thinking about this when I was playing it today. It made me think of a good version, the way that the level design is in this game, or more the overarching flow of the game. I think it might, people who aren't familiar with the Zelda CDI games might be a little confused about how you progress at first. Do you have the bombs, Corey?
I don't have the bombs yet. I thought that I did, but
you start with 3 bombs.
Oh, did I?
You can't do anything in there right now anyway.
Right, you can't do anything.
So it doesn't matter.
Anyway.
But anyway,
I just didn't have it equipped.
What I was gonna say was, people might be a little confused about how you proceed, because in a lot of ways it's very, Metroidvania search action if you prefer, but it's also kind of these sort of more linear levels that you do need to. You will see things, just like Corey was looking at earlier, you'll see things that you can't do right away, so you will want to make mental notes of that and come back later. Kind of what came to my mind was it makes me almost think of a good version of Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which is a game that is a good idea, bad execution, right? And in the sense that it's got these well-designed linear levels that are fun to go through multiple times as you try to go back and collect everything. But where Kirby and the Amazing Mirror goes wrong is it's incomprehensible, like where you should go, where you've been, what you've done, what you haven't done, and once you commit to a location, you're stuck finishing it, even if it was not where you should be. And here, you have a lot more flexibility for going in and out of levels, and probably by the end of the stream, you'll have gotten some items that will significantly speed up your time when you do have to revisit some of these locations. You can take a lot of shortcuts and things like that. So it's very much a game, to me anyway, about, searching, finding, collecting, trying to find all the good stuff.
You already lit a beacon.
I doubt the rest will be that easy. Any new info?
Indeed. My scouts have reported blockades enchanted with color magic.
Yes, you lit a sacred
How
beacon,
am I supposed
which
to get
is
through
basically
them?
how you open up more
You'll need a
levels
tool
in the
that can
game
fire
to
magic
start
of the
exploring.
same
And the different
color.
paths also, right? It makes those
Something else I have to find.
blocks.
Right.
Careful,
Well,
Arzette.
so
You'll get
your
wrecked
objective
in
in this
the
game is
rain.
twofold, right? Well, actually, kind of threefold.
Ugh,
Or for
maybe
one,
there's
you want
only
to find
one
all
color
the
to deal
beacons
with.
to open up all the levels, right?
To my
Right.
knowledge, there are
But then you
3
also
types of
need
color
to
magic.
kill all of the bosses. So
Don't
you have
look
to
so
figure out where they are,
Princess.
and they are hidden
going
behind
back now.
sacred tapestries, which are those things that have the number in front of them. And to clear those, you have to collect candles. So it's you want to explore the levels for candles, and then you want to try to find the bosses and seek them out.
Those are two
And,
things that get your progress.
Right.
Point of
Yes.
So those exclamation points, they weren't integrated when I.
Oh, see, this is great. This tone music is great. This it feels like 1992. This feels exactly like 1992.
There
Yeah, it
was
was composed on sound, I think on a Roland sound.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
everything. It's period accurate.
here's going to be an iconic
Luck,
voice
my
right here.
friend. These wares aren't elsewhere. My goods will improve your fortunes, so long as you improve mine.
Those camera zoom ins.
Yeah, I love this the very subtle one. It's just he's like me. He just just a little bit.
I don't have enough for the.
But
map yet,
there
or
was
the-
a $2 super chat from Eric Reiner.
I would get some more bond, though.
I don't know. Saying, be tuning into MLiG every week. Try again. Well, I'm not playing. Corey is playing.
Yeah, I'm only playing because I'm
always-
less familiar with the game, and I'm not going to finish the game. We're going to play to a certain point.
And here, guess what? Someone in this call is this next character.
Let's see who.
If you ever need something special done with that little sword of yours, just drop by and I'll give it a shellacking.
Great work, Mark. Great work. Great performance.
Yes.
That was recorded right here, where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We
If you ever need
John
something special done with that little
John
sword
and
of yours,
Corey
just drop
also
by
have
and I'll
cameos
give
in
it
this
a
game.
shellacking.
And
We recorded it right here.
we recorded it right there, and oh my gosh, I was over in the back, just dying, trying to not laugh. There were takes that you weren't able to use because you could hear me suffering, muffling my laughter in the background.
Yeah.
Well, once I saw it, it was because of my body language when I was saying the lines. I think.
Cool. John,
we
shot
don't-
video of you doing this, oh my god, it's so funny.
We'll hopefully see it later tonight. To kind of go into, let's see this scene first, I suppose. I really like this
I
guy.
wouldn't say that.
It is! Oh, I resolve to see all colors. Not just what these puny eyes can show
I love
me.
the angles.
Yeah.
I will alchemize these shrimp goggles. You'll see. Or, rather, I'll see.
Nice.
I love those shots where you can see their feet touching the ground and it's above them. There's another
Yeah.
shot like that when you talk to the mayor, and it's it looks so nonsensical with the background, and I love it.
But to kind of circle back to what you're talking about, the exclamation points. Yeah, that was a later addition after some playtesting to sort of And that was an addition suggested by my development producer, Joe Modslinsky, who is in this chat.
Mayor,
And it's I think it really helped. Hold on, let's watch this.
Snivelly hound. Here in my Polka Demon? Never!
You know, my smart sword doesn't hurt friendly folks. You're not being very friendly.
Citizenship to Mr. Cypress granted. Ahoy hoy!
But yes. Yeah, so that really helps, I think, sort of direct you in the right direction without being too overt. Whenever there's exploration, like truly required, I sort of pull back on that a little bit. But I never want the player to just feel like they're totally lost. So that was just and also there is a quest log in this game. I don't know if you can pull that up real quick after this scene.
I love this
place
guy.
in the land. And rabble-rousers and mischief-makers have no quarter with me.
The Crown is ever grateful for your service. Anything to report?
Rumors speak of strange scrolls that allow you to teleport to special areas.
Special areas?
Places that test your mettle and reward you with riches. Oh, if I could teleport, I'd find these scrolls and... Halt, ne'er-do-weller!
Very good, very good. Yeah, if you want to pull up that quest screen real quick for me, just
Is that?
open.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. So, well, it's yeah.
Oh,
it's
right
that
here.
screen
Oh,
there.
I see.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can like highlight items, and it'll tell you like give you a good idea of where you need to go next.
Right.
So just to get you just so you're not totally lost.
The descriptions, I think you implemented like the day after I did my playtest.
Oh yes.
You're like,
you're
oh man.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do that.
You're like, editing menus is a lot harder than you think, and then you just had it done the next day.
Yeah, that's kind of
a bomb in a hard place.
my whole
that.
whole thing,
Keep up
I
the good
guess.
work.
Yes, princess.
So every character is voiced.
Yeah, there's some side quests later that you get that are just kind of text boxes, but for the most part, yes, every character you interact with has a voiced cutscene. So a lot of cutscenes in this game.
No, thank you. Say, that's a Smith's anvil behind
This
you,
is
isn't it?
one of my favorites.
Yes. I was
It's
a
Alvin,
great
the
blacksmith
bartender,
in past
ex-blacksmith.
life. I dreamed of forging the ultimate weapon.
Yes,
But
he
alas,
sends you on
those
quite
days
the
are
quest, we'll say.
Please, go on.
I'm looking forward to everyone following through on his quest
This
line.
dream weapon needs refined chains and sacred oil.
His hooves,
Problem is,
like very difficult
the oil's
to
kept by
use.
some unbeatable wizard in a dungeon, and I have no idea about the chains. I'd go investigate it myself, but you know, I am but a mere small, timid man. A great
The quest here kind of reminds me of like Link's Awakening or Ocarina of Time, like the main like trading quest.
That's right. That was sort of the thinking behind it, was to have a ridiculous trading quest. That was one of the first things that was sort of scripted out.
My only tip is to help.
There was a $10 super chat from Jason
steer you on
Hubbard.
the right path.
Thank you. Saying, Seth, did you have a CDI? If so, what other games did you have?
So growing up, like most people, I did not own a CDI. It was very, very expensive and out of reach for most people. But when I started getting really into the games and like everything around them, when I was doing like the remasters, I imported a PAL CDI because they were cheaper back then. It was for a pretty good price. I think it was like around 2016, and I modded it for RGB output very easily because those have SCART outputs. That CDI is dead now because that's just what they do. They die. But yeah, no, I got quite a few games on it. I liked Kether, Laser Lords, The Apprentice, Merlin's Apprentice. I think Hotel Mario's pretty good. Thunder in Paradise, of course. Yeah, I got pretty into the CDI library. They're better than you think. Better than you think.
All right.
So this
you got an eye for
Well,
beauty, don't you?
I suppose.
I lost my husband in the war.
I really want just
He
just
was
like
turned
smoking a
into
cigarette.
creature, got bombed.
Yeah.
Shook the whole room, I tell you. He never gave me the jewelry I wanted. Bring me something starry, will ya?
So a lot of these characters are just giving you side quests that it will, you'll get stuff
Right.
throughout the quest
Like
to bring
the-
back to them.
Right, like the games that, like those original games, like most of the scenes either serve a gameplay purpose or, like a cutscene, but also like we're trying to do like Saturday morning cartoons for
Yeah.
fun.
Look, everyone,
So-
it's the princess.
I love
Like,
this
just
guy.
going
I'm pretty sure they can see me.
Yeah, but you always
Sounds
gotta
like
be
a
mindful
Barney
of
from
what's
Simpsons.
around you. If you see anything nasty coming
That
your
was the
way,
idea,
you gotta not get away with your weapon.
Really like
I love the
last frame.
I,
yeah.
I love the face that he makes at that last laugh. Like that's like maybe the most CDI thing in the whole game that I've seen so far.
Say you got a
Um,
whole game to play, Mark.
I mean, I've only played 22%. I mean, of the finished version, that is.
Right.
Also, that the lady that was in the bar is voiced by one of your legacy actors.
That's right. It was also Bonnie Jean. So it was, we wanted to make sure that they had
Howdy
a
there,
few roles to
stranger.
do.
I take
So
it you're on a quest.
they had a lot of fun
Right.
with it. It was a really fun
Apologies for the
recording
hold.
session.
Oh, no worries about that. I could use a little sunshine in here anyway. If you dig it further down, maybe I can finally get some plumbing in here too. You know, an adventurer has got to explore.
Shout outs
Oh,
to Joe in the chat. Great
Curiosity.
performance.
Yeah.
I was asking Seth before we started because I played the,
Investigate them.
like I said, the first 22% of the game earlier today, and
I once even heard of a hero finding a cook.
I was like, is Joe the rat? Like,
perfection.
there-
legend says.
Like there is no
Yeah.
character
Might
like
even find a few
I
coins
believe
hidden away.
Joe would refuse to play any other character
Keep your
in
eyes
this
peeled.
game,
Here.
Thanks.
knowing that
Oh.
the Rat Man is in the game. Like that had to be Joe.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah.
Oh, there were a couple of super chats. There was 1999 from our good friend Sean Quinn. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Saying, what a pleasant surprise. I actually had a CDI back in the 90s. It really does have the same feel of what I remember. It was a different time. Congrats on pulling it off and bringing back some great memories. Are you sure those are great memories?
I'm sure they are. You know.
There was also, I know Corey loves this username. $2 super chat from Roughhausen by proxy.
Oh, Roughhausen. Yep.
Saying, in a weird way, this also has super jail vibes. I don't, for some reason, that just makes me think of jail bars and RGB video.
It was a pretty good show. It was a Adult Swim show. It was cool.
Yeah, I gotta say when this was like first unveiled with that LRG3 trailer, I was not prepared for the degree to which like there was this like long standing fandom around this stuff. Like I didn't even know what a YouTube poop was. Like I had maybe seen videos that were like that, but I didn't know there was like a term and subculture for it. Like if you were like talking about like the great classic YouTube poopers. I didn't know nothing about it.
The great poopers of the
great poopers.
The YTPs, right?
Ooh, what is the stream rated?
What's this game rated?
Everyone 10 and up.
Yeah. Well, if I understand it correct, our mutual friend Audie, your game's producer was responsible for it not getting the lowest rating.
I can't let him take all the credit for that. That's not fair. No.
Now you've done this mini game before. If you do it again, do you still get rewards for it or no?
He hasn't cleared it yet.
I haven't cleared it yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, for some reason, it doesn't seem that difficult.
The game does do a good job of kind of outlining on the world map what things you have left undone in any given level.
Citizen of Faramore Town.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't believe it. Thanks. Oh, right. Now to the
Woo! I like how he thinks.
kiddo.
Yeah.
I would love. So, what was the process for creating those? Are they video? I doubt that they're video files. I feel like they're too sharp.
They are
to be video files.
They're
Really?
they're video files, yeah. That are.
Wow.
I wrote a chroma key shader that basically chromas out the background. We had a.
It's just like they're just really sharp.
Yeah, we had we had a spec guide for animation, and I think someone in the chat asked how many animators, and I think we had like 6 or 7 animators. They just I assigned them the scenes that I think were that played up to all their strengths, and some of them were storyboarded, some of them were not, we tried to keep Arzette consistent. We tried to keep some things consistent, but just to sort of keep that really creative spirit and artist-driven flow ahead, I just sort of let them, as long as they stuck pretty close to the resolution and overall style that we had decided on, it's basically free game. So I think that really contributes a lot to the sort of again, really artist-driven feeling of the game.
Yeah. What I also like that you kind of have a little bit of leeway. You can jump after you go off the platform a little bit.
Yeah, we got that coyote time in there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of it feels really good. It gives you a little bit of leeway for making the jumps, but also it probably is useful.
Right.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Go on.
Okay, I'll go. So yeah, there are some CDI style things that I kept very much to keep it feeling like CDI, but not, or at least to trick people who most people who have never played a CDI or a CDI inspired game, right? To sort of make them feel like that's what they're playing. There's certain weights of the physics and how Arzette moves that sort of emulates that style. For instance, she doesn't have variable jump height. So just that sort of thing. Yeah, you're gonna need to go find some candles before you can go past there. So time to start exploring. Oh, there's
a cave system's nearby. Throw a bomb and you'll be spelunking in no time.
Yeah, I love him.
His voice was not quite what I expected.
Not so fast. If you run out of light, you might not make it back.
Really?
Those eyes, though, too.
Smoking constantly.
Dark places.
Well, I only saw his sprite before.
Safety.
I appreciate it.
Buy more at the shop. Okay, so that makes it so you can, if you get stuck or something like that, you can get out of it.
Right. So you can use the menu to also quit at any time, but
correct.
I know some people don't want to go all the way back to the world map, and so this sort of provides a secondary way to do that. I try to give players as many options for this game as possible. It takes a little bit of inspiration from those original games, but kind of takes it to the next level, right? And a mixture of games that I like. Is to sort of give players tools to solve problems, but sort of leave it up to them what they want, other than the ones that are necessary for progression. So, what were you gonna say, Mark?
Oh well, I'll get back to that. I was, but first there was a $5 super chat from Blender Noob 64. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying my only exposure to CDI was through YouTube poops from the late 2000s. So in a way, this style is nostalgic to me too, which is I think where you've tapped into sort of a really unique sort of nostalgia. Oh, by the way, Corey, you do have the lamp. Don't forget.
Yeah, you did get the lantern.
Okay, so I can.
Yeah, so and then you just equip it like that.
Okay.
And then you can hit the X button to use whatever item you have equipped.
Got it. I thought that that was just like the glow around me.
No.
Default thing.
No, so basically in the original games it was just pitch black, right? You couldn't see anything. So I wanted to give players like some room around them, but like obviously you're gonna want the lantern so you can actually see. But in case you decide you don't want to get the lantern, you can, still somewhat stumble your way through.
I definitely stumbled my way through quite a bit at first, because see, when I played, so few of the cutscenes were implemented, so I didn't really have a lot of. There was like text descriptions of what happened in the scene, but it wasn't. If you were to watch that cutscene with Cypress, it's like very clear. Okay, this guy gives me a lamp. And if I later go to this dark place where I can't see, it's like I should do the lamp guy's side quest, right? Or not even side. I mean, I guess it is a side quest, but it's a nearly required side quest. And so I was confused for a while, and then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, there was the guy in the forest. I just, it definitely is a lot more apparent now with the way that it's designed in the final forms. That's a desirable thing. So yeah, you'll definitely want to go back to that that shop and buy you some more.
Right.
Lamp oil.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of resource management that it's important, you
you might end up wanting to just leave the level if you.
No, I think he'll get there.
Think you can make it on that last? I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, yes, he'll be fine.
Oh, there was just now a 5 Canadian from Waifu for Life again. Or no? Oh yeah. Waifu for Life was this week.
Yeah.
Already. Thank you. Saying, while the cutscenes remind me of the CDI Zelda games, the gameplay itself looks more like a spiritual successor to Lady Sia.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like she looks like Lady Sia for sure. Like the character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good observation.
Oh, cool.
I really like.
You can also use the triggers. You don't have to use.
You can use either. You can use triggers or.
Yeah, it always annoys me when games they make you use the shoulder buttons, but you can only use the shoulder buttons. You can't use the triggers. It drives me crazy. Yeah.
By the way, you can starting out. You can only hold 500 rubies, so you may as well buy a bunch of stuff because you don't want to hit that cap.
Oh, is this
so? Yeah, there's an example of a side quest that's not voiced.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have the music. Does that mean is it like a sound test or something?
No, it's an ongoing quest in the game.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You basically you can build up a lot of rubies in this game, so definitely want to give those players a quest to do.
So while you could have visited one of the other levels, the reason that there was a red exclamation mark there was because you collected your first candle, which, was basically the exclamation point was just informing you that you can now get past the candle gate.
That's right. That's a newer, yeah.
But you could have investigated any of the other levels. It's not like you had to go this level a whole bunch of times in a row if you didn't want to.
Right. You're not forced to go anywhere. You're sort of gated at times.
What I was going to say earlier. Don't forget you have your projectile shield.
And that thing, you can use it as much as you want. Is there any limit to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't jump.
You can't attack. You can't jump and you walk slowly.
But that's.
I really like that you can walk though. It feels like you really.
Okay, but it's only for projectiles.
It's only for projectiles.
Yeah.
But it's very useful.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you remember to start using it, it's really good.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do this without dying this time.
Anyway, I was going to say earlier when you were talking about jumping and stuff, it really kind of hit me how much more there probably is to jump mechanics than you think.
Yes.
because I tried a demo a couple of months ago. It's the most. I have to look this up because the name makes me laugh every time I see it. Okay, here it is. There was.
Can I get in here, or how can I? Or is there?
You cannot get rid of red or blue.
Help you out.
Yeah, and in fact, Seth has been keeping one of Arzette's core abilities under wraps all this time, and we are revealing it.
Wraps, yeah.
We're revealing it on this stream.
Sure, yeah.
That's how you get past those barriers. So anyway, I was browsing demos on the eShop a few months ago. There was a new game from Inti Creates called. Now this is based on something. I don't really understand all of what this is part of. This is part of some huge something or other. It's called, the name is called Yohane the Parhelion Blaze in the Deep Blue. Which is just the title makes me laugh. Anyway, like, you know, this comes from Inti Creates, a very experienced, obviously, 2D game developer. Although their actual 2D mechanics their games are kind of hit and miss with me. Absolutely love some of them not as much. But this game, like, the very act of jumping felt bad, and you can tell me, Seth, from probably your experience, like, I'm assuming if you are jumping and you are in the air, but your feet haven't quite hit the ground yet, is there kind of like a leniency period of like, you will jump again after you hit the floor if you hit the button before you hit the ground again or something like that?
Yeah, that has a couple of different names, like Coyote Time and a few other ones. But yeah, that's sort of the idea. It's exactly.
Yeah, because like I was not able to jump and then jump again in a way that felt good. In that demo.
Here to challenge
me.
What behooves you to...
I love this guy.
Cease this laughter. You will suffer. Nay, you... Enough! Rein it in!
Oh, so this is your first boss. Oh!
I know, but I was turning down the audio. I didn't want it to be... Oh, I see. Ooh,
he is vulnerable to the sword, but he doesn't have knockback.
Oh,
so
I
it
see.
can be risky. But anyway, yeah, that Inti Creates game, like, I was just really surprised by how bad jumping felt in that, and it made me appreciate just like how that's not just like totally a given to get that right, you know?
Come here! Stop horsing around!
We have Joe from GameStack in the chat here. He says, this is supposed to be inspired by the CDI? Then why does it look enjoyable?
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Maybe one day there will be enough CDI-inspired games that you'll be able to do a games inspired by the CDI episode.
Yeah. For something like this, you know, I'm sure that this will show up as something that he does in the future, or, you know, like spiritual successor type things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Like this seems exactly like the kind of game that he'd probably really like this. You know, it's not. You know, I like it because it's not just like overcomplicated. It feels very much like a Monster World game or something like that, which you said, you know, was an inspiration for it for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of funny because, like, as we were like going through the design processes, like John was like, you know, like we really liked talking, and he was like, this is pretty much like a Monster World game, and I was like, oh, you're right. I love those games. So it turns out, right, and because a lot of people it sort of noted like Shantae similarities, which, you know, surprise, surprise, those are also pretty strongly influenced by the Monster World games series. So,
I think when I played this a long time ago, I always felt like the ladder right here, the indents, looked like an NES cartridge.
Oh yeah. I really like the background shader for the dunes as well.
I feel like I saw something on the wall there.
Yeah, there. You
might have.
Maybe.
Maybe.
By the way, don't forget you got your ring with all those snakes spitting poison at you.
There's a lot of secrets in this game, so.
What was I was gonna say? Something.
Did you ever think about, like, you know, having like dashes of yellow paint on the surfaces of like the direction you're supposed to go?
Are we really gonna get into this? Are we really gonna talk about this?
I mean, no. I understand like how. I just thought it'd be funny to say it.
We'll put it in. Why not?
I totally understand like the reason for it, like for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I get it.
I mean, I heard some of, you know, I heard from you and John like some of the feedback that people gave you in playtesting, and you know,
you found.
Oh, you were right there.
Darn.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say earlier. Didn't you and Corey in some video, it might have been one of the games we played videos, where you said that like one of like the most surprising things in modern gaming that makes you the happiest is the rise of the Wonder Boy like.
Oh, for sure. You know, a lot
which
of those
is just like
games
such a shocking thing to exist.
Not only that, but even just the fact that Wonder Boy has been brought back as thoroughly as it was. Yeah, I'm happy that those kind of games have made a comeback, because I feel as though they are really fun to explore, and just kind of to get powered up and just kind of wander around the world and see what you discover. I was telling these guys earlier that I started playing Tunic the other day, and I just like really fallen in love with it. And I hit a point where I got enough items where I can kind of just do what I refer to as a world tour, where I just kind of go around and use the new items on, you know, like in places that I thought were inaccessible before, but also places that I like didn't know that there was something there, and just seeing what I found. You know, certain things jump out at you.
Okay. There was $5 super chat from Elk Plays and Paints. Thank you, as always. Saying, I was surprised to see so many hilarious YouTube poops made soon after the first LRG trailer of this game came out. Was Seth or his team surprised by that too?
Yeah, no, I was actually super surprised because, you know, I never wanted to seem like I was like trying to pander to like a group or anything, and like trying to like intentionally like appeal or whatever. So it was like, it felt really good when I'd seen people like seem to get what I was going for and sort of organically move towards that. So, but yes, no, it's been quite a journey to see how everything's turned out.
Well, you know, I edited that trailer for you, so I was certainly surprised because I was not at all prepared for that.
That's really cool. So that just goes to show you that you're doing it right. That you are, you know, pleasing the people that you were hoping to please. But, you know, I think that there's just playing the game, it shows just how much better it probably is going to be than anybody thinks, probably, based on the source material, you know? I think that people probably think like, oh, you know, like that's, you know, like, oh, it's silly, you know? But then they play it and they say, oh, this this is really good. This is fun to play.
It's pretty silly, yeah.
But you know,
But
like
no, I know
it's probably easy for people to just jump to conclusion on it based on like a trailer or something.
Right. So just a little hint on a room you're in earlier in the desert, but you can just keep going through here.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. It's organic. Just try, anytime you see anything, I try not to, again, we're talking about like yellow paint and signposting.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that my wife actually suggested that I really, I was like, oh, no, it's a good idea, was anything that you can blow up in the game sort of gives like a very subtle like spark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. So you're talking about that hidden passage. I could not break with my sword, but I could blow it up.
Right. Anything you see in the game, it's pretty clear. Oh, I can blow that up. So.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So does she play games at all?
Well, she's watching now. I don't know. Do you play games at all, dear? No, she loves Baldur's Gate 3, and so do I. So
it's interesting because like that is, my wife does not play games at all. So I think it's cool that even if somebody who doesn't like play very many games can be able to suggest that, I guess would suggest like, oh, they should have like a little glimmer to them.
Yeah. No, she's very supportive. I love her. Oh, you found a little secret?
I did not find this.
Oh.
Ooh, there's a coin in here.
It's a DK coin.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, there's those special coins hidden around. There's one in each world, so be on the lookout and try to find them.
Oh, I see. Okay, it doesn't trigger them when I go from the other side.
Agent 00 Snake was asking, will Arzette work on Steam Deck when it comes out, or do you plan to support it later?
Yeah, no, it works perfectly on Steam Deck. I was just playing it that way earlier today before the stream, actually. I played through it several times on deck. It's just, to get verified on deck, you have to basically have it doesn't happen automatically. It happens after the game is out. Like to get that official verified by, what now?
Do you have a native Linux version for that?
No,
or
it runs through
on
Proton, but it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it.
I actually, one of those early builds that you sent me, Corey had, was a review sample that we never did anything with, but Corey, it was one of those Aya Neo Air Pro things.
Right.
I mean, it ran perfectly even on that. You very much kept Switch in mind from the beginning.
What are you working on?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I mean, that's what it's running on now. I'm pretty proud of the Switch port.
Thing is,
it can be a little
I need
trickier than you
fairy
think
dust to
sometimes.
get it working. But I can't find any fairies anymore. Oh, quel dommage. What about you, child?
Nope, but I'll keep a lookout for them.
Ah, fantastic. I hear fairies hide in the desert. If you bring some of their dust, I get this arm working in très rapidement.
I actually didn't get to see that cutscene because I had the item she needed when I first went here earlier today.
I love this town music. I love the little bit of the bass line in it. Mm-hmm. That's the part that I feel is what makes it feel like 1992.
Yeah, no, Jake did just a phenomenal job on the soundtrack. So.
There was a $5 super chat from Tinderbrew. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, sup dudes, can't hang long tonight, but this game looks dope. Nice showcase for something not on my radar. Now, like I say, me and Corey,
I thought that was over there for a second.
Have cameos in it, so anyone who watches our stuff, you should
like this right here.
Sword of yours, just
Yeah,
drop
there you
down. I'll give it a shot.
Right here. That line was recorded right here.
It was recorded right
standing
there.
up.
And there's like two more lines that you won't hear until like right at the end of the game. I think, right?
The stream tonight. Yeah. Oh wait, no. For you, yeah. You've got some.
Yeah, my other lines don't come until way later. I've not seen the animations.
No, that's not my voice. That's Try's voice.
That's
me.
definitely Try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you all like I don't know if
can I give something to anybody here? Do I have any items I could see?
No, not right now. No.
The main thing you need to do is find the ferry in the desert.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I think you may have passed where the ferry was before and just
I didn't go down
there. He didn't pass it.
Oh,
see right there. Like you can use that coyote jump by getting that item. You know what I mean? You can. I don't know if you can get it without doing that.
But man, I don't want to say which characters. We're not going to hear John's character tonight.
No.
But like, I don't know if it's ever been said what character he is. But like, you all like, you know, like I said, me, Corey, and John all recorded at Corey's house, and I was just like in disbelief at what I was hearing come from the lips of John Lennon. Like, I never would have guessed that he had that voice in him. Like, no one would ever believe that character was him without being told. Or they would believe it, but they wouldn't guess it. Like, it does not sound anything like it. I think y'all are gonna lose it at Corey's cameo though. Like Corey's.
Oh no, yeah, great.
Corey's is so funny. And you were like super nervous. Like you didn't.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, I was especially nervous like doing it in
this.
front of people.
Yeah, you were just like, I don't know if I can give you what you want.
Yeah. It's come on, I did it again.
It's random every time.
Oh.
The location of the door. So.
Oh, I see. I see that your favorite Canadian YouTuber, says, I too was lucky enough to get early access to play Arzette, but on PS5. I can't reveal any details or show footage yet, but I'll be working on a review video soon. Should be done sometime after launch.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. From our favorite Canadian YouTuber.
It's everyone's favorite Canadian YouTuber because it's your favorite Canadian.
So,
it's fine. Just wait a second.
There we go. Now there's the key.
See, the first time I played this, I didn't understand the whole like, you know, go back to world map via the menu thing. And like I was like, wait, am I stuck? Did I find a glitch? No, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to leave that way. Yeah, this is where you got lost. Those little pixel things you put in the background a few times to give a little motion to some of the backgrounds worked out really nicely.
Right, we wanted to simulate sort of the palette shifting that the original games had.
As a reward, how about some fairy dust?
No, thanks.
Oh, I insist. Enjoy.
Alrighty then.
Well, did her animation go through a few revisions? Because she seems to have a lot more like unfocused bug eyes, just like her eyes are like not looking at anything in particular, and I don't remember it being that way, and I love it.
Yeah, she had a few revisions.
I feel like such an idiot right now. I just want to say I feel like such a stupid idiot because I didn't make the connection between the company name Seedy and the actual until like just this moment, and then seeing Indra in the chat saying CDI. Like I did not make that connection at all.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly.
I don't know. I feel like such a dumb head for that one.
You're just like Dale in this game.
Oh, don't say that. He's
Silly
more
goof.
useful than Dale.
All right, so I got the fairy dust.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like a use? Oh, that's fairy dust. Oh, okay.
So you can
So I can go to the
deposit that at the canyon.
yeah. Oh, it's not this person though. What's the deal with the red? Or is that something that comes up later on?
That has to do with what will remove your red barriers. As those are barriers to level progress as well as barriers on the enemy.
Right.
There was a $10 super chat from EB Chill too. Thank you. Old Eric Benoit.
Yeah, AB Chill's been dropping in on my Twitch streams that I've been doing like Tuesdays and Friday mornings from 8 to like 9:30ish.
I bet as soon as you say that, I will see a few Twitch follow notifications on this list here.
Yeah, people might be interested because I'm playing through the PS2 Yakuza game, the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is all before I wake up.
But it's just called Coffee and a Game. So I drink a cup or two of coffee, and we play a game. Okay, sorry, I mean to interrupt his donation.
Yeah. EV Chill said, pre-ordered this as soon as I saw John's tweet. Congratulations to everyone involved. Would the adventures of Little Ralph ever be feasible for limited run in the near or distant future? Ooh,
that would be amazing.
That would be amazing. I don't know where the rights are tied up with that. I remember that game actually kind of came. I mean, I don't remember like what was said. But that game kind of came up in casual conversation when we were at M2. We were just like talking about it, like I don't think the guy who created that works in games anymore.
Right. It was like New something. It's like the name of that. Like the company. And from what I understand, like calling it the Adventures of Little Ralph is not like totally correct. I can't remember what they talked about it on the Insert Credit podcast like a few months ago, saying that calling it like Little Ralph's Adventure is more or something like that is more like a better name for it. It's closer to how it should be. But I don't remember.
Well, there was a message here from Has No Pants.
Ooh.
Saying, thanks for the stream, guys. I wasn't sold on this game until now. I just pre-ordered the CE with the pink controller from LRG's site. Looks awesome.
So I didn't see the pink controller. Like, is that only available like in a package? Or
yeah, you have to bundle the controller when you go to check out with the collector's edition.
Oh, okay.
Drop down.
I did pre-order the collector's edition, especially because I wanted the CD. But I did not get the CDI controller version. I restrained myself.
I'm definitely getting that CDI controller. The commitment to the ridiculousness of it. And you know insane. that thing is going to be used for some sort of like challenge speed run of something
sure.
in the future.
Yeah. Oh, we had we had a $1.99 from Mr. Bulk Slash, as I like to say. Saying, I've worked with John's voice. Game will be gold. Oh, but you haven't worked with John's voice like what's in this? Like, let me tell you, it's a trip.
He does great. Insane but great. Love John.
And as I predicted, there were 2 Twitch follows.
Tune in for some bad voice acting, English voice acting in those games. Try, are you familiar with like who plays different people in that, the English voices in that first Yakuza game?
No.
So Mark Hamill is Majima.
No way.
Seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds great.
Yeah.
I found some fairy dust.
Oh, terrific. Thank you, dear Royal. Let's
Whoop. It's just sprinkles.
Intelligent gun. It will shoot color magic.
Color magic. I love the OUR.
Oh, of course.
Here.
Color magic.
Wow. Thanks.
Oh, almost forgot. The gun's powered by souls.
Oh, I love this.
Anytime you see an enemy, look for its third alarm. It's Soulfire.
Oh.
Here's 50 souls to start with.
It is so fire.
Bonne chance, princess. Now to my next invention.
Oh, that face there, it's so good. She's like, is this ethical?
There it is, a smart gun. This is what you're talking about. This has not been revealed.
Yes, it's the smart gun. It only hurts those that aren't friendly.
Yep. So just like the original CDI games have the smart sword and this has the smart sword, now we have the smart gun. So there you go.
Of course.
Of course.
Beautiful.
A vast universe, but our world is a speck.
Puts it all into perspective, huh?
Your interest has made my day. As a gift, take some cosmic jewelry, courtesy of the stars.
They're almost as bright as you, Odie.
Ah.
Oh, something starry, you say? I actually did not. I was a total dum-dum and didn't realize, I didn't even think that, oh, I have the tool to get rid of that barrier now when I was playing earlier, so I did not see that scene myself.
Nope. Gotta find Brenda. I think Brenda. I like that name, Brenda.
Yeah, Brandon. I mean, we like this game. I mean, to be clear, we were somewhat involved in it, so, you know, we may be a little biased, but a lot of people in the chat have been pretty impressed as well, I would say.
Is that Brenda?
No, she was the lady played by Zelda's actress in the bar.
Okay.
Oh, does the pink controller order in tonight? Someone,
I don't think so.
Chico might says the pink controller pre-order ends tonight, I think.
No, I think pre-orders end on March 17th for everything, I believe.
Seth, you do realize that you are obligated to play every single Switch game going forward with that from now on.
Sure. Why not?
Including Switch 2 games.
Sure. Okay.
Ah.
I wonder if you could play 1-2 Switch 2 with it.
Maybe. What did she give me?
You think it's compatible?
Canteen? I totally missed what she gave me. Is the canteen?
You got
Yeah, she gives you the canteen. It's it refills your health.
Oh, cool. Okay.
On normal mode, there are no health drops, so that's sort of like how that's balanced, kind of like the original game. But
yeah,
if you play on casual mode, you do get health drops from enemies, and there's a few items around the world that'll restore your health. You know.
Yeah. I can get that candle, I think, here now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, that's the kind of things I like. I like it when, you know, it's not telling me where to go, but I know, like, oh, I'm going to go back to this level and do it. And yes, it's Metroidvania-esque, but it feels more efficient and just more appealing, I think, when everything's broken up into levels like that. I gotta use that.
Don't forget your ring.
I know.
You can swat away projectiles with your sword too, as well as using that. So.
Oh, okay.
The ring's a lot easier.
Oh yeah, it's a lot easier.
What was I gonna say?
You get a lot of bullets for this thing.
Yeah, enemies drop, like she said, the ammo, the soul fire, to refill it. So
I was gonna try to reflect it back. If it reflects it, does it go back and hit the enemy or no?
No, it doesn't. That's not how that works.
Okay.
Oh, man, your favorite Canadian YouTuber is getting in deep on the Arzette lore, thinking about how the smart sword really works.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. We'll put it that way.
Have you thought about the lore? Because lore is real popular these days.
Sort of, and also no, but yes.
I think that's the only thing you can get in this level, so I think you could leave.
Well, yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and leave, just for the purpose of this play session.
Well, I know that I could, but I mean, we're trying to.
Okay. I would go ahead and explore the caves again as well. Now that you have that.
Oh, I'm trying to think what he can find. Well, he can talk to a character now.
Well, no, he has the red magic with the smart gun, so there's a barrier that he can take care of now.
Okay. I don't know if I did this.
There's a lot to find, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at that background, and like the fuzziness on it gives it it's almost kind of moving, without moving. Like, I think it's a cool effect.
There is a subtle parallax, yeah, but it's very, very subtle.
There's I saw that he tweeted out, so I guess it's fine to talk about. John tweeted some screenshots that he'd been playing of Penny. Was it called Penny's Big Breakaway? I think that's the title.
Oh yeah.
Which looks amazing.
Yeah.
From
the Sonic Mania team.
Yeah. Okay, I see this secret. I did not find this yet. Well, it's not really. Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of. Anyway, like the background, like the depth of field, like kind of has like a kind of a similar sort of effect to it, actually, which looks cool.
I think that's probably all you can get in the cave. I'm trying not to guidepost you too much, but I want to make sure that we can see.
Well, there's certain areas that you don't want shown before the game comes out.
Right.
All right. But yeah, go ahead and go through the canyon area.
Oh, I see. So it shows you like what you can get in there too. What you can get
and what you haven't yet got.
Yeah. And I guess every level has like a golden token.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not every level has, of course, because there's a bunch of levels and there's only 5 pieces of the Jewel of Faramore, so not every level has one of those.
Right, exactly.
What do you recommend?
Yeah, let's go to the canyon, Grease Canyon.
Because that's kind of where
you can kill those guys now, by the way, with your guns.
Oh. Right. There was a $4.99 super chat from Replicant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying the music in this game is almost too real to be real. Real 1996 32-bit vibes.
Yeah, it really does have that feel.
Something that surprised me, because I've not heard I've not heard the music for later levels in this game. I had not heard the Crease Canyon music. And I was actually, I thought it was really cool. I wasn't actually expecting this. Like, there's kind of some repeating motifs in the music. Like, so I was like, oh, okay. So like some of the music that was in the forest, some of those motifs are here too. So it's just kind of an action level motif.
Yeah, Jake knows I'm a pretty huge fan of that sort of thing. So that was definitely intentional. So good catch, Mark.
Yeah, the world map music though is just like bonkers.
Yes, it is.
I like the town theme.
Like, kind of makes you think of like Ease or something.
I was told that one of the direct inspirations was Chrono Trigger, so it's definitely. Yeah. Well, that was one of the things. Like when we were going back and forth and trying to establish like the sound, he was like, "Hey, this is kind of what I had in mind," and he gave me, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good direction to go in." So.
So, this was the first game that you developed like from beginning to end, like. I mean, like with a team and everything like that. But is there anything that, I mean, besides the entire experience, was there anything that was completely different than you were expecting going in? You know, just like how exhausting the whole experience was, or I mean, like, what do you feel like you learned? I guess, like, what is like your biggest takeaway from, working in game development? I guess.
Yeah, this is my first full commercial game, and I'd say the number one thing that I learned is just like the real effort required to do certain tasks. I feel like I had a pretty good idea of like how long some things took and like how to like manage for that. I think I did reasonably well. Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
More than just a mere scarecrow. I can teleport.
You can't leave here, can you?
No.
That's not me.
If I please,
No,
Dama,
that's not you.
he'll
But you're
go
coming up.
to my power.
You know,
Spoilers.
I could teach you.
Prepare to be shocked.
Oof.
Hey, Aerial Aces in the chat. Good to see you.
But just the actual like effort required to do lots of tasks and the time that it takes is one of the most eye-opening things. I mean, everybody will tell you that game development's hard, but it's a lot.
It made me happy every time I turned on my Switch and saw you were playing something, because I'm like, good, he's relaxing.
Was that like twice?
Well, you definitely played a lot of Tears of the Kingdom when that came out.
I sure did.
I think I saw you playing. Were you playing Metroid Prime Remastered recently? I think.
Oh yeah,
I got a big. I know. I keep on forgetting about the reflect ring. Probably very useful here.
Prime is one of my favorites. The fact that a remaster exists is just sort of like a dream come true. So.
Oh, and it's such a phenomenally done remaster.
Oh,
so good. Just perfect, basically.
You try throwing some bombs on them too if you wanted.
Oh, pro strats. Didn't know about that.
Yeah, for bosses, I basically, wanted to. You can damage them basically however you like, So, like, if you were, say, came back and did the bosses last, as after you're like fully powered up, they're going to be a lot easier. But if you wanted to get to them earlier, they're going to be a little harder because obviously you don't have the arsenal and the hearts and everything.
I mean, there's a ton you can do in like a bunch of different orders. And now, especially now that you've got the smart gun, the game opens up a lot more now, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
there
go.
You go.
Oh, put me down! Put me down! Wait.
Who was that?
Get me up!
Alright, so go ahead and go up that ladder to your right.
Yep. And get ready, everyone. One of the greatest scenes in video games.
Caw! Princess, I can't thank you enough.
I should be thanking you.
Macaw! No, you gave me the courage to face my greatest fear. You pushed me to push him off. Allow me to teach you to move like a crow. Good. I must be off. There are more crows to liberate.
Outstanding performance, Corey. Outstanding.
I did it. That was me, recorded right here. I'm saying
that was indeed. Oh man, you should have seen Corey's body motion. He was just like,
oh yeah,
just like really into it.
I'm so happy.
My favorite thing is like he holds up his like feather finger, is like, move like a crow.
Do you think that you're gonna see people speed running it by going like this? Like going like this?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's lots of different movement. Like you preserve momentum when you go off of ledges and stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing how people.
I'm just thinking about Symphony of the Night, just like people going. That'd be funny.
Master Safer has a $2 super chat saying, "Caw." Do the caw for the people, Corey. Do it.
That's okay. I don't need.
Do you think people are going to start asking us at conventions to do Yukeen and Crody the Crow?
Yes. I'm completely convinced that is
in our future.
Yeah. Is there a?
Do you think people instead of asking them to sign their frame meisters and OSSCs and retro tanks, as Corey and Tri, they'll ask us to sign them as Yukeen and Crody?
That'd be amazing.
Maybe. Oh, that's cool. It's just it's a shortcut. Okay,
Yeah,
the shortcut.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice. Yeah.
That's a big part of why I think that's such an important item. You have a lot more flexibility now in how you approach exploration. Elk Plays and Face says, I'm going to ask that of Corey next time I meet you at a con. We've already got a few cons lined up this year. I don't think we've heard from Retro World though, so that's where we usually see you, Elk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what day Retro World is this year.
It's changed months a bunch of times in the past few years.
I don't know. I think it might be like end of August. We are going to the Midwest Gaming Classic. It should be like announced any time. I'm actually surprised it hasn't been like put on like at least on the. We're on the website, but we're not on the Instagram.
Roddy Top Zombie Waifu was wanting to know if the game has an authentic Zelda CDI mode, like having to hit rubies with your sword to collect them. No invincibility frames. Use only 2 buttons. At least a couple of those things are in there, right?
We'll keep that a secret for now. Let's just say wink, wink.
Okay, is this the last one you want me to get?
Do you want us to watch the scene after this?
No. I think maybe we can just stop there and
then maybe hit the home button.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right there. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There might be plot spoilers
that's fine.
coming.
It's fine. You can just stop there.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do.
Probably take some questions too.
Yeah. I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off. I want to be able to save my game. That's what I want to do. Is I don't want to lose the progress from it.
Oh.
I turned off the audio.
Audio?
Yes. People should not be hearing anything except for us and not seeing the game.
Okay.
I just want to be able to get to the point where I can just like save my game and load from there. People are not seeing anything. If you look at the stream, it's just you can just see the wall behind it.
It's all good. Yes, thank you. For playing. That was been a lot of fun seeing you go through it in this finished state. I'm still shocked that the game is done and about to release. Honestly,
I mean, on Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox systems, no less.
That's right.
You've made a console game, man.
Yeah, console games.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
So going back to the main menu here, people will get to see like it's a beefy game. I'm only at 17%.
Right. Obviously, there's lots of optional like quests and optional items and everything.
Right. That includes some of the things you've done. Did you put your game back on? I'll see, or maybe I'm behind. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you should be
click live.
Seeing it.
Yeah.
Should I start a new game? I can start over and do it again.
I mean, you can do that, or you could. It's whatever you
I
want
can
to
play
do.
something else. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna play the casual mode.
Sure.
If that's all right.
Will that override his save?
Yes, it will. So that's the other thing. I don't want you to override your save, but it will.
But
you
what if I
start
play
a
with
new
a
game.
different profile? I could do that.
Then that's a new profile. Yep.
I could, play with my my Japanese account. You see my different icons up here?
Your RGB.
Yeah. Or BRG or BGR rather.
But while you get that started, I guess I will go over the platforms again and how you can pre-order this game.
I can't play.
Oh, it's oh yeah, you can just add a guest account, I think, right?
Let me try it with.
Oh, I
no,
see.
the code should only be for.
I see. So it's
US.
only. I see. Okay.
Because it's not out yet.
Oh, maybe I'll just play Shing instead.
Okay.
Not really. I was just gonna. You had suggested that I play Shantae since it was like a big inspiration, so I'll switch into that.
Sure.
Yeah,
let me go over the platforms again.
Yeah.
Arzette is going to be out on February 14th. It's Wednesday. A lot of storefronts will unlock at midnight for all of you who are really looking forward to the game. But you can get it on Switch, PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series, and Steam. The digital is $19.99, and you can get a physical version from Limited Run Games. Arzette.com has got all the links for details.
Yeah, and the physicals can be pre-ordered until I think is it the 17th?
Yes, March 17th.
March 17th.
But it says on the site that the physicals actually won't ship until like November or something.
That's the estimated ship date. Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least, does that apply to the standard editions?
Standard edition estimated should be August, but again, all those times are subject to change.
But speaking of those systems, I mean, I'm sure there's not a lot you can say, but I mean, what was it an interesting experience doing those ports yourself?
Oh yeah, it's eye-opening to do 5 different versions of the game. But the game's built on Game Maker, so while every platform does have its own quirks and everything. It's a lot easier than having to do it all from scratch. But it was certainly went through the ringer, you could say, in terms of all that.
Corey definitely has Monster World. Yeah, many ways to play Monster World 4. And
yes.
You also have Asha. I mean, you did a video on Asha in Monster World, didn't you?
Yeah, the remake.
Cloud FF72000 asked if PS4 is getting physical. Cool. I don't know if that was answered, but yes, all the console versions are getting physical. So,
I've got some super chats to catch up on now. We had a $5 super chat from good old Mega X6. Thank you. Saying, I was interested in this game before due to its homage to the CDI games. Now, with knowing who voiced it and everyone involved, I need to support it. Yeah, I mean, this game has a lot of overlap with the MLiG circles. So,
awesome. I really wish that they used a different font in this game. Like, I feel like the HD font that they use on the cutscenes here. During the dialogue, I just feel like it looks squished.
Yeah, it looks a little thin, and it feels like it should be bold or something.
Yeah.
I've only played this on 3DS, so I don't have much experience with the HD version. There was notification that Joshua Helmicke has been a member for 51 months. 51 months. Say congratulations, Seth. Such a huge accomplishment with Count them, 6 Corey Popeye faces.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it is certainly it's a huge thing, and yeah, I couldn't have done it with all the love and support in my life. So very, very grateful for it, including these guys right here, which we recorded the voices in his house, right there,
right here, right where I'm sitting.
If you were watching over Corey's webcam in April 2023, you would have seen us do our lines right there.
Right there.
Right here.
Right after we went game shopping and eating at Skyline Chili.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how it went.
There was also there was also a $2 super chat from Brent McLean. Thank you. Saying, could this run on a CDI? Sorry if asked. Already asked.
You should try to port it just to see what happens.
Okay. Is there like any like homebrew scene for the CDI? Like,
There is. I know.
Okay, so
quite
it's possible
a few very,
to develop for it.
Oh yes, there's quite a few very talented developers working in the CDI homebrew scene. But no, Arzette just you'd have to like greatly simplify it, and then it would run at maybe 2 frames per second. Again, the CDI had a very, very limited memory allocation, as well as like the amount of like basically how big backgrounds could be vertically and horizontally. And you know, part of the whole like pushing Arzette forward idea was really like not having those limitations, like try to get those real big levels. You know, like I sort of always like treated it as developing for like a Sega Saturn like equivalent. If there was a CDI 2 that never existed, I think that's sort of what Arzette would be for. I mean, of course, there's like some shader effects and stuff, but I try to go a little easy on those and try to like kind of approximate like sort of like scanline manipulation effects.
Right. Like that's how very much how that sand dunes refraction.
Right.
Is. Like it looks like a scan line shifting technique.
Mm-hmm.
But so when you did the Zelda games, like the remakes of the Zelda or remasters, I mean, you never in a million years expected like this is where it would lead. And I think that's just a good lesson for people that to think about when, you know, you just, if there's anything you just want to do just for like the passion of it, just do it, because you never know who like might see it and what it might do, like where you might end up from it. You know,
you never know what friendly Norwegians might end up in your.
It's true.
DMs.
You have no idea. You know,
no,
because
that's
probably the last Norwegians
thing
bring like delicious candies and cheeses to your house also. So
yeah,
worth befriending.
Yeah, hint, by the way. But yes.
Oh my gosh, that cheese is so good, Seth. You won't believe.
But yes, yeah, I never thought the reaction would be what it was. I mean, I've told the story a few times, but it was basically like an exercise to sort of, you know, like, okay, it's time to finish a project, scope something out, and just do it, right? And then do it for my friends who thought, you know, hey, like this would be funny. It'd be funny, and also like what it'd be neat if it existed.
Yeah.
And
it does.
yeah, and I thought nobody would care. I thought, because why would they? I mean, who cares about the CDI? Sorry, Audie, but who cares about the CDI, right? Sorry, Wrestling with Gaming. I know you're probably out there too. He actually was that got Ruby's voice. He's the narrator.
Oh, okay.
Recognize that.
It's appropriate, you know.
Yes, he did a great job.
I was wondering who that was.
But yes, I never expected people to care. So the reaction basically was like, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I can go ahead and, you know, start something else. So.
I mean, I remember you were so nervous about that trailer. I mean, you were just so anxious about that trailer going on.
Oh, of course. I
that
had
Virgo
been
said
developed
cough.
for so long. Oh yeah.
I should have been the voice of that one.
Wait, what goes on so long?
What?
What'd you say? What'd you say?
No, I don't know if you meant me. No, it's just like the bird said caw.
Caw.
Yeah, her bird said caw.
Oh. Yeah, that's right, Guy Safari. The Arzette is secretly another way to get a physical copy of Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. No, it's not. We stopped playing Arzette to avoid getting into too much spoiler territory before the game launches. So now we're playing Shantae.
Yes, Arzette's a game that is best experienced. Like all the surprises for yourself.
Yeah,
for sure.
we didn't want to play through the whole, like most of the game, or like not even most of the game, just like more than that before the game's even out.
Right.
Ow, Baron!
I'm really excited to see what people think. So.
And it's one of those situations where you probably
on.
are like, whoever, if like mainstream outlets review it, like, are they going to get it? And you know what? Even if they don't get it, like, who even cares? You can't.
It's not made for them.
No, it's not made for them.
Nah, it's made for me mostly, but yeah.
I mean,
a few other people out there, but mostly.
I mean, even like normal retro style games, like mainstream outlets don't get.
Right.
We're much more the audience for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And I feel like if, IGN, they're going to be like, what is this? And it's because the person reviewing it, has no context at all.
Right. But, you already had, you've got your CDI Entertainment Discord community. Or excuse me, CDI software. And you actually had that for a while before the game was announced. Like, there was already an active community there.
Yeah, no, I'm
but
very
like it definitely seemed like it expanded extremely quickly. I mean, I think you did a pretty good job with just like getting straight on to social media management and everything. Like once the trailer was out there in the wild, you suddenly had like quite a large community.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm very, very excited, to say the least.
I mean, what is, aside from, recovering from COVID?
Yeah,
what is life and work like right now that, like, the game is, like, it's coming out in 3 days? Like, what are you doing with yourself?
Other than, like, being a nervous wreck? No, I'm still, playtesting the game, looking for issues and stuff. Trying to get ahead of some things, just preparing for launch, basically. So just all that stuff.
And that's what's cool about having the physical launch kind of far out like that, is that you can make sure that, if there's any bugs that were discovered, because once it gets out to people, and you have like so many people playtesting it, it's inevitable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right. I think. So we had a really, I had a really great tester, Tom, mutual friend Bodies, who did a lot of the testing work, and he and my wife actually did a lot of testing as well. I really think, in addition to limited runs QA, of course, like I think we did a really good job of ironing it out pretty much as best we can prior to, because like you said, it's inevitable. When it goes out to however many people are going to buy it. Hopefully thousands. People buy it. It's inevitable that people are going to find things, right? But I'm pretty happy with the state the game's in.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't break when you were playing it, so it's can't hope for much more.
Being a limited run project, was there like much discussion or debate regarding like when the digital would come out relative to the physical, or is this sort of, digital coming out like in the middle of the pre-order period? Was that like always kind of part of the plan?
I mean, we had a plan for the digital release date for a while, but yeah, just the nature of how like doing physical releases work and everything. It's just the release schedule is pretty much set the way that it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense the way that's being rolled out now.
Yeah. Well, was there any more questions? Because I think I might skedaddle out of here.
Yeah.
After
makes
after
sense.
answering any like last minute questions. Yeah, I am in fact trying to recover from COVID. This has been a lot of
I get
fun.
it, man. Like 2 weeks ago, like I had 2 days where I could just not do anything but lay down.
Okay. Yeah. So, anything else before I go?
No. Thanks for joining us. It's just awesome to, be able to have you on and just
something that we had like the smallest amount of involvement in.
Yeah, thanks for having us like the chance to put our voices in a game. I never had that chance before, and it's really
our
cool.
voices are in a Nintendo game.
Yeah, on one of those Nintendo tapes.
Yeah. Well, we'll be on a Nintendo. It'll be on a Nintendo tape in a few months.
But yeah. Thanks so much. I hope you feel better. Get some rest and just recover.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us be the debut stream of the of the release version.
Of course.
I want to say before this stream, and I should have done it, as I really wanted to get the soundbite from the Game Awards that goes world premiere. And just spam it throughout the entire stream.
Pre-stream?
That'd have been really funny.
But yes, I'll definitely been a lot of fun. I'll definitely want to do a stream again sometime.
Yeah,
Everything
absolutely. Everyone should get the game, and and I'm sure you're already thinking oh well, I wonder what my next game will be.
Well, of course, absolutely.
All right. Well,
thank you so much for playing. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah,
everything
absolutely. All right.
And everyone go support them so that we can see what that next game is.
Yep.
You all take it easy. Thank you so much.
Take
Yeah,
care.
not.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me see if I can switch the windows.
Yeah, you
here.
have to reshuffle the window position.
Yeah, if I turn off my camera to you.
Yeah, I don't need it.
There we go. Hang on, let me just switch over here. It's like you can see parts of your body slid up here. Is that gonna work? It's not gonna work. Hang on. There, kinda. Oh, now you're down there.
I'm just playing.
Oh, you're just.
I'm in my normal posture now.
I was gonna say, I never really hear too much about it, but I mean, in every single Shantae game, the boobs are insane. I never hear anybody say that, but it's constant in these games.
Yeah. Well, in this one in particular,
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
I'll just say that part of Risky Boots' attire is actually like a super significant plot point. And in a way you would like never expect.
Interesting. I mean, I haven't played this one. I've only played I played Risky's Revenge and Half Genie Hero. As long as I played all the way through.
Okay.
Have you played the Siren's Curse?
I mean, I've played a little bit of it, but I've not played through.
I wonder if that's on par with Half Genie Hero, because I know that it was developed as a mobile game. Yeah, as a mobile game.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have as elaborate of like a, I think it's much more 2D. There's a lot of like 3D background elements in Half Genie Hero.
Mm-hmm.
I think though that the Siren's Curse has much more like interconnected levels, whereas Half Genie Hero was a little different in that it was more level based. So it's definitely like a different structure.
Right. I like her eyes when you duck down. She kind of squints a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean the sprites are great in this. Does this have any shimmer going on?
Yes, I've definitely seen some.
Yeah, I mean if you're going to make a 3DS full screen to 1080p, it's inevitable. I wonder if you set the switch to 720. I don't know if that would work or not. If you set the switch to 720p, if it would fix it, because I mean 3DS is 240p, right?
Yeah, but it's like a weird. I think you guys were talking about it in the Retro Tank. It's like something really weird. Well,
it's 800 by 240 because like it's effectively 400 by 240.
Okay.
Because of the way the 3D works.
Man, this I'm glancing over at the Super Bowl and it's like, is it going to go to overtime? There's 9 seconds left and San Francisco's up by 3 points. Like, do they go for it? They got to either kick the field goal and go into overtime or not. Like it's or win it. I don't know. So
what was I gonna say? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, the 3DS. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but me and a few people were. Someone made a thread under the My Life in Gaming supporter chat.
Mm-hmm.
We've been trying to figure out if there's some way we can configure the Raspberry Pi 3DS capture software to run like an actual like 3DS refresh timings, like force it to output. I think it's like 59.83 or something like that. Because we've been trying to figure out like, would that fix the like stuttering issues that happen, or maybe even improve the input lag?
I don't know. I don't know.
So I don't know. We've been trying to figure it out. We have not had any breakthroughs yet.
It's kind of a fun little side project, though. I mean, fun, quote unquote.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time. Well, I did get an updated version of the software running on my Pi though, so that's good.
Yeah, was it a pain in the butt?
Yes, but I had an experienced user kind of walking me through it. I mean, not someone who has like they don't. It was uncommented code, Uncle Code. who has been in the streams before, or in the stream chat at least, doesn't have a 3DS to actually check it with, but like got the software running at least. And so it walked me through, kind of installing. So yeah, now I have like a separate SD card with the newest version of the software. So that's a starting point. I'm really interested to see if there's a way we could optimize it further. And it does seem that later, like because see, when I got it, the Raspberry Pi 4 wasn't out yet. And there's
the 5's out now, right? I think the
5. I'm not sure. I think I've heard 5's hard to get, but like actually, someone was telling me that they might have a spare Pi 4 that I could check it out with if I wanted to try it. So I'm curious. I mean, it might just be that the brute force of the Pi 4 would actually fix the stuttering issues.
Maybe.
I always assumed the stuttering was caused by like the 3DS refresh timing conflicting with and also the audio drift issue. I always assumed that was caused by the 3DS refresh conflicting with the HDMI output. And I thought, well, if we actually have it output at 59.834 or whatever it is, like that would probably work on the Retrode, and it could potentially be nearly perfect. Roughhouse by proxy says bold move for them to have the Super Bowl on the same day as the world premiere of Arzette.
World premiere.
Bold move indeed.
Auto potion, huh? That way, if you die, Heart Squid. World premiere.
World premiere.
I mean, see, you can see some shimmer here. Do people want me to? I'm like lost. I have not been paying attention to any of the text. I don't know if I could just. I mean, I could play something else.
Yeah, play something else. Do you have more Switch games you've never booted?
I'm sure.
Or are you running low on those?
I mean, I do. I could hop into in the Tunic and to do some like exploration. Or would you rather?
I mean,
not?
Don't spoil anything though, because I've not played it.
Right.
I mean, I've played a tiny bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't sat down to play through it.
Right. I won't do that then, because then
Well, you could go to the eShop and see if there's any interesting demos.
Sure. Let's do that. I don't have.
I always like looking at the demos on the eShop. I download an interesting demo on.
How much cash do I got on here?
I downloaded an interesting demo on the PS5.
I got $5.23. How about if I find like a game that's under $5 and just buy it?
Just buy it.
I mean, as long as it's something that I care about. I mean, I'm not going to get something that stinks. Like Raft Survival Simulator.
Oh, there's it looks like there is a demo for this. I download on Switch. I download on PS5, but it looks like it's on Switch. There's a game called Alisa. Alisa, and it's like the aesthetic is pretty spot on PS1 pre-rendered backgrounds.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing
FMVs. The only thing I didn't like about it was that you couldn't use the D-pad to move, and the tank controls felt a little twitchy on the stick to me. The FMVs were like the character models and camera motions and everything felt like super on point for the time.
Bee Simulator. Learn to play piano. I don't know. I'm just thinking maybe I should grab something off the... Or, you know what? I can play...
Well, there's that Alisa. I wonder if you could download the demo for that.
Do I gotta, like, if I just do a search and browse? I almost never get demos.
Well, I mean, I saw you pass it is what I meant.
Right. If I go to games with demos.
I love browsing the games with demos section. I don't really understand how they sort it, though.
Alisa Developer's Cut. This one here?
Well, that's not what they called it on PS5, but...
Dude, you know what? I meant to bring this up early. Actually, I didn't mean to bring this up. Because, you know, like, they are... you know, when the Super Bowl's on, there's always, like previews for movies coming out. Like I was telling you about, like, the Deadpool 3 trailer. But... one of my favorite things is when you get previews for movies that you had no idea were even being made. And like my mind was completely blown when I found out that they are making a sequel to Twister, the tornado movie.
Wait, what?
You know what it's called? I need you to guess what it's going to be called.
Oh my gosh. Is it guessable?
It's totally guessable. Don't look at the chat. They're going to tell you.
Is there a 2 in the title?
No.
Is it like Twister the Revenge?
No.
Twister Twisted?
No.
Twistier?
No.
Double Twister?
You were way overthinking it.
Perfect Twister?
No.
Twister the Destruction.
Everyone in the chat's saying it.
Is it just Twister?
No, it's called Twisters.
Oh man! Oh,
I was
man.
like, I had no idea that it was even being made, and I was dying. Oh, here we go.
Is that a Roland Emmerich movie?
No. The original was directed by Jan de Bont, who like directed Speed. I don't think he's alive. I don't think it has any connection to the original.
I've never seen the original, but it seems like something that would be a Roland Emmerich movie.
Yes, absolutely. But my mind was completely blown that like that was even being made.
I know, like that was that movie like 97 or thereabouts.
Dude, I know what I'm going to play. Do you want me to play this thing, or do you want me to play? Should I play this demo and then I'll play something else?
What were you thinking of playing?
I was going to play Chubbins, like the whatchamacallit, Rotund.
Have you never played that on stream before? That version?
No,
Well, check out this Alisa demo.
Okay,
check it out because we got time.
All right,
check it out because I just think they did a really good job with the. I mean, I didn't like get up close at my TV and like check to make sure the pixels are authentic, but it sitting back on my couch, it looked pretty authentic.
Jeez, I can't get these stupid donations to show up right. I'm sorry that it's like all jacked up. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there was a $2 super chat from Joshua Helmke saying, "I dare you to play Hentai Girls Director's Cut, barf face."
Only if Waifu for Life was in the chat and could give me a download code. I always joke saying that Waifu for Life is like the person behind those games, and that is not true at all.
I mean, you don't know it's not.
That's true.
You're making it up, but you could be making up the truth.
Yes.
Also, Zane's dad wants to know, what is Fight Crab? Do people talk about Fight Crab?
People... Fight Crab is just... It's kind of stupid, but that's the whole point. Like, what else do you expect? People...
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many people have talked about it. I'm like... I wish that the font for these numbers here in the playtime were not just like standard font.
Yeah.
Yes, let's currency from enemies. I'm just gonna do it with that on.
All right, listen up. Tonight, a spy stole important blueprints.
Here's a video of John Linneman's voice acting later on for my project. Ooh.
However, we were
is this an announced project?
And tracked him to his last
My font hate is unreal. Sorry, it's not. It's not. I usually don't have a problem with it.
Dropping you off at every station in small groups to search the area. Find him and make sure.
But when
check out these FMV models though.
Yeah.
Like, this is and like the camera movements and stuff. Like it's pretty authentic, I think. Oh, we got $2 super chat from Ariel Aces. Corey and Try are my wife.
Look at this guy.
That's not true. I know you have a waifu, Ariel Aces.
But they're
oh, okay. That's the John's voice is in the Macross fan transmission.
I think this needs to run at 30 FPS to be authentic, though. I feel like
it's. Oh well, yeah. The FMVs are jerky enough, though. I think.
Yeah. I mean, this looks good. I like the flat wheels.
Oh yeah, the flat wheels are great.
The walking animation. She's just walking with intent. She almost like just very, very like it's almost Terminator-esque.
Yeah. But like on the Switch, I'm assuming you have to use the analog stick. You can't use the D-pad.
Correct.
See, that kind of annoys me. That was like the one thing that annoyed me about this. Otherwise, I think the aesthetic is pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Kay, this game is Alisa?
Yeah, it looks like it's only 15 bucks.
There's a demo on like most of the storefronts for it. This is just a demo he's playing.
You gotta press the button to go down the stairs.
Well, Mr. Bulk Slash, if you ever need a hillbilly or a crow in one of your future translation projects, you know, me and Corey have experience playing those roles.
Yeah.
You know, specifically
experience that like not a lot of people have.
Yeah, I mean, hillbilly blacksmith.
One day it could be highly sought after.
With a hammer for a hand. They wear only overalls. That's the mind space I'm able to get into when I act.
Let's check these houses. Someone will live
there. So I think I had mentioned it not on the stream, but last week after playing Shing, I was compelled to go through and pick a whole bunch of games out of my game collection that, like, where I think, why do I even have this? So I think when Troy and I were talking, it was his suggestion to, if games that are not good enough to keep, that they are Shing tier. I feel like we could make that a thing. Oh, it's a real Shing tier game. And it sounds close enough to using another
Another kind of tier.
Yeah.
Another
Or
kind of tier.
SHI word. So I think that's kind of a good. I think that's a good way to describe games that are not worth keeping.
Ooh, fake German accents. Can I do a fake German accent in a project? I want to do a fake German accent. Ich spreche schlechte Deutsch.
Man, when was the last time a Super Bowl went into overtime?
Oh, and by the way, we've got 2 Canadian from Waifu for Life saying, "You have my blessings, Corey, to play the H game." Blessing, but not mandate. I think we would need both Waifu for Life's blessing and YouTube's blessing.
Yeah. Ooh, can I climb into the window?
Oh, did you go into the house where the guy went?
Oh, is he over there now? I can go over there.
Well, I mean, the house, didn't you talk to the guy at the door?
No, he walked over here. I didn't.
Oh, like it was like the second house on the left, I think.
Yeah, I'm barely paying
attention. If you knock on the door at the second house to the left, I think is where it progressed.
Oh, hello there. What brings you guys to these parts?
Sorry for bothering you, sir. We are looking for a man. He might have passed these parts. Have you seen a person like this?
Ah, yes. Very kind fella.
Very kind feller.
For a cup of tea.
You know, this reminds me, on last Monday, Drum and I, we had a directorship for just playing a bunch of PS3 games.
Mm-hmm.
And we popped in Africa.
Oh, okay.
And I've got the Japanese physical for Africa because the American physical is very expensive.
Is there what was the appeal to get that? I don't really know too much about the actual game aspect of it.
I mean, I mostly I bought a bunch of PS3 games when I was afraid of the prices going up.
Right.
For when they were about to do that shop closure. And so I kind of got on top of getting a bunch of PS3 games I had a passing interest in.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly got it just because I didn't know.
Hilarious.
I didn't really know what it was, and I kind of just wanted to discover what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it was notable enough for its prominence in that one 2006 press conference, right?
Yeah.
So I was just
the zebra's ear.
This is a game. I was like, this is a game worth having, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
It's just historically significant, I feel. It's historically significant, and people don't really know much about it. Because by the time it actually came out, no one was interested in it. If anyone ever was.
Yeah.
It was almost entirely notable for being part of Sony's worst press conference ever.
Yeah, I thought the entire... I don't think anybody was ever interested in it. I thought that it was just notable for being this is what you're showing.
And it came out 3 years later, I think. It was... but anyway, I had briefly booted it up and did a side mode, and I was like, I still don't know what this is. Anyway, we popped it in, played a bit. You get in this Jeep, and this guy drives you around, and you can get out of the Jeep at wherever, these watering holes or wherever, and you can take pictures of the wildlife. It's kind of Pokemon Snap-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
But what was funny was I got out like, you know, there were some hippos in the pool, and I'm just going to get up right at them and just see what happens. And eventually, like, it did run out and trampled me. Which, you know,
it was kind of scary when it happens.
I mean,
it sounds scary.
I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know. We thought it was funny because, like, I was just pushing my luck because I didn't care, right?
Yeah, you weren't trying.
Yeah, I was trying to get it to happen. I wanted to see if is Africa a game where you can die, right? And it just like teleports you back to the tent, and you're like on like, you know, the bed, and then so like there's like two characters you can play as, and the one you don't choose is just like someone that you talk to inside the tent, and this person is like right up in your face, like really, really close when you wake up, like they're like right over you when you wake up after quote unquote dying. And what like was so crazy, and I was thinking of this because of, you know, this PS1 styled game, like when characters are that close to you in that game, you can see that the like vertices are like snapping positions like they do in PS1 games.
Right.
And I'm like really trying to understand how or why that would happen in a PS3 game. Like, I think they do that to some extent in this game, but it's obviously intentional, right?
Yes.
But like, why would that be in a PS3 game? It was really trippy looking. It was kind of cool, but it's like, why is that a thing?
These things are horrifying.
I do appreciate that this game is actually like 4:3 as well.
Yeah, you know, I didn't even think about that
that's a pretty gutsy move, I feel.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You know, I didn't even notice it. I guess that just goes to show you like how used I am to that. I am
to 4:3 games. Yeah, like
it didn't even occur to me.
Right.
Yeah. Are these things supposed to kill me?
I think they are. I think I ran out of ammo trying to kill them, if I remember. Yeah, that was kind of
and just leaves her a hat.
I love how like I do you think that's like an actual like photo mapped onto her face?
I hope so.
I mean, that's how it should be done.
See, I wonder if to get that weird kind of warping, like if that's a challenge to make that happen.
See, yeah, and that's like, but maybe not, because it happens in Africa on PS3, and why would that happen? But like it's kind of neat though, right? Like I do wonder if it's actually difficult to do.
The arms kill me. Just some old junk.
I played a demo on PS5 recently that was like similarly like PS1 styled. It was either Crow County or Crow Country. I can't remember what it was. But what was interesting about it was like it took more of like a I guess a more high fidelity approach to the PS1 look. But what was interesting was you could actually, it looks like pre-rendered backgrounds, but you can turn the camera, 360 degrees. And like when you stop moving the camera, like it looks like like a Final Fantasy VII pre-rendered background. Like, because the characters are like very much like kind of like Final Fantasy VII proportions, so the backgrounds are kind of designed for that proportion of character. So they feel like Final Fantasy VII backgrounds, but in like a horror setting.
Right.
Excuse me.
And it was really interesting because it was fully 3D, but if you don't move the camera, like it looks like a pre-render. So it was really interesting. But then this is actual pre-renders. Oh yeah, Roughhousing by Proxy played Crow County. Again, though, I felt like the controls were a little off.
Yeah, that's another one that has the same style, right? I feel like
Yeah, it's a similar style, but like...
Yeah, I thought that was this. When you had mentioned what it was going to be, I thought that was this.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess PS1, throwbacks are becoming more and more of a thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they take a different approach to the aesthetic, but I can't say for sure, like, if either are actually good games, but it's interesting ideas they got going on here. Like, but again, like, I think the controls here.
This thing is like glitching into the into the stairs. I don't know. Oh, geez. I don't know if this is supposed to be happening.
Oh, weird. Yeah, it wasn't. It was right. That thing was right around when I played this. I didn't play much beyond this. Well, like, the color palette is very, I think, reminiscent of, the bright lighting.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of like the entry
shadows.
area of the RE1 mansion. Yeah. No, I mean, it's an interesting thing they've done here. My main complaint is that controls would be a lot better, I think, if you could use the D-pad. Like, tank controls are inherently digital, right?
Yeah.
So you should use a digital input for them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the Crow County controls were fine, but the button mapping was what was weird to me. But this feels a little twitchy. There is like a move where you point the stick control in this game, but it just feels wrong to me. I mean, tank controls exist for a reason. And it's because, the changing perspectives, don't work that well with like point where you want to go controls.
See if I can. I'm just trying to figure this out here.
I almost always just brute force puzzles like these. I hate puzzles.
Oh,
like
yeah,
these.
yeah. I almost always do the same thing as well.
It looks like you're close, and yet I don't see how you could finish it from this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play this. I mean, you've gone just beyond how far I played it. I just thought it was an interesting aesthetic. It was worth taking a peek at.
Yeah. There we go. Yes, I got it. I just think about that stuff and like I would just like push the thing off the platform that it's sitting on and break it. If it's like real life. All right. Should I
yeah, play.
I'll play a little.
I mean, don't you have like 2 or 3 of those games on there?
Well, there's one of them that it was recently on sale, but I still have not. I'll play Rotund 0, which is the game.
Do you have the kart racing game?
No, that's the last one. That's like Rotund Rebound, I think. Where is it?
Oh, Uramashi says, I hate slide puzzles, but less now after watching videos on the trick to them. Much easier now, but still a pain. I should watch a video like that. I mean, what I typically do, and this there are times where this won't work, but usually it does work, where like I usually like try to get like the top or the bottom locked in, and then usually it's possible to solve the rest of it without screwing up the finished rows to a point. Usually you can move forward like that.
These games are very difficult, for me at least.
So this one goes for I mean, this isn't like the first level, is it?
This might be the first level. I think they're random in this one.
Oh.
Not the order of them is random.
So that last arrow in that tight spot under the spikes, like those arrows aren't okay. So the arrows show how much of a bounce you get.
Right.
Do button inputs do anything, or is it just directions?
It's just directions. Just kind of a nice, like, simplicity to it.
Oh yeah.
But it's
pretty hard.
It gets pretty tough, yeah. I don't think this one has a world map. The remake of Chubbins 1 has a world map though. Because, you know, I think it's funny because that's exactly, you know, that's what a game like this needs. Right?
Yeah.
Put a world map in anything and I'm happy.
You know what I tried out a few days ago because I got
a crazy Rotund rabbit.
I got my physical copy. Hang on, I need to look up the name of the game because I don't know how to say it. Well, I mean, I don't know how to say it, but or at least I will say it poorly. But it is Otogi Katsugeki Mameda no Bakeru Oracle no Saitaro no Seinan.
Wait, did you show up?
Yeah. Did you order it?
No. I wanted to, but I'm hoping that there will be an English release.
I kind of feel like there will be.
Yeah.
I'm curious if it'll come to anything else though, because the frame rate's real bad on Switch.
Yeah,
like normally I can grin and bear it, but it's like it's definitely like you know, I would be happy enough to play through it sometime as is if there was no other choice, but you know, I would probably want to wait and hope that, you know, Switch 2 will support, you know, enhanced performance for Switch games.
Yeah. It better. It really better.
It would be a big mistake if it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I could see Nintendo just playing it safe. Like, oh, they're exactly like they are on Switch. That's great.
What am I supposed to do here?
But anyway, it seems really cool. I mean, the visual style is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good.
It is good, but they made a big mistake having an uncapped frame rate.
Yeah.
Because it's like constantly between like 38 and 50. And it's
38?
pretty obnoxious. Yeah.
That's weird. Why not just... Yeah,
they should have capped it. They
should have just made it 30 all the time.
They should have just... Well, exactly. that's the kind of frame rate. If you're frequently if your frame rate is frequently in the 30s, then it should be capped. That's just how it should be. And I normally can, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Grin and bear it pretty easily, but it feels like they did a whoopsie.
Yeah, I wonder if there will be another, if it'll get released on like PS5 or something like that. Like maybe it's a timed exclusive or something.
Yes. What's interesting is
or they wanted to see if it was worth it, and I'm sure that people will feel like that's it's worth putting on another platform because more people.
It is. I mean, it's. I honestly wasn't sure if it might be like Nintendo published or something. It's Goodfield published it themselves. I mean, at least it seems to be that way. That they are the company name on the spine of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
Aeromonato, that was Rotund 0.
Yeah. Now we're gonna play this one, which is the remake of the Wii U game, but it has a world map, and it's the 2D style to it. I think like works really well.
I love that menu. Like it feels like a menu for like a Super Nintendo puzzle game or something. Like how Tetris Attack or Panel de Pon, they have like the really big characters on the menu. Like this feels like a game that would just be like a full game on a 16-bit platform. Like, it feels like a Spanky's Quest tier kind of game.
Spanky's Quest, yes. That's appropriate.
Oh, we're very excited. John found out this week that the Saturday after I get there, there's a retro buzz in Heidelberg.
Is that like a?
That's like a
swap
like
meet
one of
type
those
thing?
mini conventions, like what do they call them here? Like swap meets or something.
Oh yeah.
Like what your Korgs and Torgs type thing is.
Korgs and Torgs is that was a convention. That's a full convention. Like you're thinking about the thing that we went to at Galloping Ghost.
Well, okay. Well, I think it's bigger than that.
Oh, I would assume that it would be, yeah.
But like I don't know, like I think it's a smallish event, but I mean, I don't know if it quite qualifies as a full convention, but maybe, I don't know. I'll be interested to see. I was very excited when I saw that it takes place at the Heidelberg Burger House. But Burger House just means community center.
So, I mean, if it's just a community center, like it very well could be only about the same size as that one swap meet that we went to. I mean,
I don't know. I saw some photos of like a previous one. I mean, but then again, like there was like the agricultural center in Tennessee, that supported a full convention.
Yeah. There we go, finally.
This level looks tough.
Yeah, and there's like not checkpoints.
I
would be very impressed. Like people could finish this entire game.
Ooh.
What?
You got there. You should go buy the kart racing one. Do you have enough money for it?
No, it's $20.
Oh.
I think it was on sale for $15 at one point. And I have it on my wish list. Let's see if I can do this here. That'd be cool though. So you're You'll be on next week's stream, but then the 2 after that. You won't
Correct. I mean, I can play next week.
Okay.
Because I think this is 2 weeks in a row you've played, right? You played last
Right,
week,
right.
So yeah, I can play, and then there's gonna be 1 week where you're not around as well.
Right, the 25th there will be no stream because I'm going to see a Bit Brigade at the at the Southgate. What is it called? Southgate House Revival.
Okay, so there'll be.
All right, let's play something else.
There will be a normal stream next week.
Yes.
Just us.
And a normal stream. Next week I guess will be the 18th. So then no stream after next week, and then I'll stream the following week.
You'll get a guess, and then it'll be back to normal streams with the 2 of us by the 10th.
Right. I'll play some. I'm gonna play some Demon's Tilt.
Oh, what's that? Hang on, what's that Amnesia collection you've got?
That's like the Amnesia games. Like the.
Is it digital or physical?
It's digital only.
I mean,
I know.
I'm pretty sure there's still no physical Amnesia 1. Can anyone refute me on that?
There was just a new one was released, I think, too.
Yeah, The Bunker, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Like, is there a physical? I don't think there's a physical. I don't know if there's any physical Amnesia or any physical of Soma either.
I don't think so. I never played that. I don't really know anything about Soma.
I mean, I hear it's amazing. I've played Amnesia and Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs. I've played both of those on Steam,
and they were pretty scary.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Machine for Pigs, I don't remember being as scary. It was a different developer. But the original Amnesia, I think, is still like the scariest game I've played. Well. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It probably is.
The music in this is really good too. It sounds very Genesis-esque.
Gamer Nostalgist was asking, either you guys get the cheap Callisto Protocol physicals that were shared. I wish I had waited. I saw it at Best Buy in December. I kind of impulse bought it because it was $20. I was like,
Yeah, I've not bought it. No, I wasn't really planning on it, but for $5, that's like all right. I mean, because from what I understand, it's like not supposed to be like super good, right?
I mean, people didn't like it in general, but like some people liked it. I mean, I want to give it a fair chance. I mean, it seems like something I should like.
Yeah.
I feel like horror is a genre where like a wide range of qualities can work.
Yeah.
Like if it's okay for horror to have its problems. It can still work, I think.
Yeah.
Like horror can be messy.
Yeah. It's weird. I think like after like last week's stream, I definitely felt like a feeling of I used to take a lot of pride in like having a very curated collection and like of stuff that I only want to play, and I feel like I've lost that a little bit in terms of like, like I just never know when I might need this for something. But like I'm like also like let's be real. Am I going to need most of the stuff? Like no. Certain things, like the chances of me needing a lot of the stuff. So I'm trying to recalibrate myself into just getting back into like a like it's like the quality of the experience is something I need to think about more. You know.
Well, I mean, I could probably recalibrate to some extent there as well. Although I think I've been better than you. Your threshold for grabbing things has definitely seemed to be a little looser than mine.
Yeah,
I think. But you know, things have changed so much since we started the channel. I mean, you know, it kind of makes me think about how, you know, there was some conversation in the Discord recently about how, you know, there's only like 1,000 some Super Nintendo games. Well, there's like I think something like 11,000 Switch games. You know,
some stupid number that.
And I'm assuming that's like digital and physical, but still, like, it makes you think about how, like, you know, back in the day, you know, like one human could know everything, could know
like all the releases on a system.
All the releases on a system. Like one human could know, like, oh yeah, this game, that game. And, you know, whether you were taking a collector's approach to the platform or not, like one person could know at least a little bit about every game on the system. At the very least, the title, right?
Yeah.
And like what it looks like, right? That's impossible now. One human cannot know about every game for modern platforms. Like, it's just not possible.
Right.
And you know, so I guess my point with that is, like, when we started the channel, things were very different. Like, yes, games were, you know, digital games had very much become a thing, but, you know, like, physical media has, like, also, you know, as much as people say it's dead, on the flip side, it's also blown up.
Right.
Like, in kind of a crazy way where, you know, there's such a range of, you know, experiences, you know, good and bad, available physically quite accessibly, right? And I feel like when we look at these older systems like Super Nintendo, where you've got that smaller list of total games that one person can wrap their hands around. Like, I think it's a lot more justified to look at a system like that and be like, you know, like, oh, this game is interesting. This game might be useful for this reason or that reason.
Right.
But then taking that same mentality into what physical media has become for modern platforms, where there's so many of these, limited print competitors that have entered the market. There's just, your threshold has to be recalibrated because of what it's become, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's easy, like, I just going through a lot of the stuff. I'm like, oh, I only got this because I was, like, afraid that I wouldn't, like, there'd be no other chance to get this thing. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's, like, negatively affecting my enjoyment about, like, a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm talking, like I was talking about Tunic earlier about, like, how I'm just, like, really enjoying it, and it's like that's the kind of game that I will play and I will, like, remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm starting to get to this point now where I'm playing stuff that I'm not going to even remember it.
Yeah.
For any reason. And I think that is, I should want to remember the stuff. So I think that I'm, like, and I'm going to, like, this is going to be part of my games we played. I'm going to, like, start a whole thing called, like, the purge list of things that I decided that if I don't finish a game and I have no desire to play it again, I'm not going to keep it around because, I don't know what it might be useful for one day.
Right.
I'm not going to keep it.
There's there's no way that, like, most of those games you would consider getting rid of, like, would be useful someday.
Exactly.
Like the only thing would be like is if it was like part of like some sort of like larger series or something, but most of them aren't.
Yeah, and not only that, but like if it's like some part of like some larger series
that sucks.
Yeah, like why even? Right, I don't need to do that series.
Like, yeah, but you know, I guess my thought is like stuff like, you know, like Wonder Boy DX, for example. Like that's not like a high quality game or anything. I think it's better than people say, to be honest.
Right. Well, I mean, that's not something I'm getting rid
of. There's like definitely some low tier Wonder Boy games, but I'm talking like, so I'm saying like some of that stuff could be worth keeping just because it is like interesting and that could be useful someday.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, that's a good example of a game that, like, you know, maybe not isn't that great, but I feel as though, you know, I would want to have that on because the game in which it's based on is a game that I remember and is memorable to me. You know, it's a remake of a memorable game for me, and it's like I'm not going to forget that I even have that game. You know, you think about Shing, and I don't even know why I had it. And then playing it, it's like, I really don't know why I have it. You know? It's just, I don't know. And there's a lot of things, especially like a lot of the stuff that I am getting rid of are Xbox One games that I have already on a different platform. And the only reason I even have them is because they were on clearance at Target for like $10 or less. There's just no reason for me to have like the different versions, especially for like if it's like, oh, I might want to compare this, but it's like that's not even what we do for like modern games. Like who even cares? You know? I
mean, the only thing would be what if someday you know, you don't have a working PS4 or PS5, but you do have a working Xbox One X.
I don't care. Like none of the games are games that I feel
you got bigger concerns at that point.
Yes. Yeah. There's just no reason for me to Xbox is going to become collectible in 20 years. You know, I don't even care. I don't buy games for them to be like collectible really. And I feel like maybe to an extent I started to think like maybe I was, and like that's not something how I should feel about it. I should not. I should feel like I don't.
I mean,
care
I want it because I want it, not because of the value.
Yes,
or because it might increase in value.
Or I want to play it.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play it is always my thought, but
right.
That's always my guiding principle. Sometimes the guiding principle isn't 100% followed as closely as it could be, but I try. Man, speaking of good games, though, I was kind of blown away by how awesome the Apollo Justice collection is.
Yeah, you're talking about like how it really feels special for the fans.
It feels like very special, very made for the fans. A lot of stuff that's like honestly surprising to see in there. Like it's like the coolest thing by far is it's got this animation studio where you can set any background and any character and any pose from those games, including green screen backgrounds. So you could have like the the desks. You have the desks that, you know, the prosecutor and defense attorneys stand at. The desk is there, but the background is green. So you can do these green screen things. Or, you know, the witness stand. Really, really cool. Me and Drum I got really distracted by that this weekend. Me and Drum like record some stuff from there to use in the backloggery. To use some backloggery stream alerts. They're going to be really fun. It's really cool. Like they like, and like what's funny is like the color that they used for the green is like the exact color that's like the default chroma key color.
Yeah, it's like they wanted people specifically to do.
Yeah, like they put that in there for people to use with creative tools outside the game.
Right.
Which is like, just like, it's a really cool thing that they could pitch that, and like people were like, yeah, you can do that. Like, here's the time and money to do that.
Right.
Like, it was probably relatively easy because that's how the games are built, it's just like a series of scripted animations and poses that are, canned for, each event. Like, sometimes there are unique animations that play out throughout the course of like when a character like reveals their true form or something like that. There might be like this complex animation, and it'll actually tell you when you choose that animation in the animation creator tool. Like, it'll say like, this is a 50-second animation, it can't be skipped, and you can actually play it out.
That's fun. That's really cool.
It's really fun. And like, what's also cool is that you can choose any scene in any of the games, like without having even played them. So like, it feels like it's made in mind for people who have already like played the 3DS versions. Right. So like, they aren't like forcing you to play the whole thing if you just want to record or play like a specific scene. And it's got like, every collection has like art and music, but like the selection of art and music seems like exceptionally good, especially on the music side. Like, they've got like, some of the orchestral arrangements that, are never used in any of the games. Like, they've been, put on some CDs and stuff, but it's like, okay, let's just put it in a game so more people can access it. So it feels like a really special collection. It's the most impressed I've been with just like the complete package of like a game collection in a long time. It feels really special. It feels like they wanted to go all out, and they got to go all out. It's really,
they just want to go through all that material and stuff, probably like make sure they got everything in there. Because either they're thinking like, oh, we don't even know if we're going to get another chance to make one of these again. Because how long has it been since they've made one? Like,
a new Ace Attorney?
Yeah.
I guess Ace Attorney 6, I think, is the most recent. The most recent, like.
What year was that? How long ago?
I mean, it's a 3DS game, so.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Yeah, I think it's like maybe 2017. It's been a while. Although, like, I want to say that like one of the producers said something like, "Oh, Ace Attorney will live on forever." So I mean, I think they've got plans to make more. I mean, I think these collections have done well. Yeah. I mean, especially if you consider that the first trilogy did not get an American physical, and the second one did. Like that indicates to me that it did really well, and that the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles must have done really well.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to buy this one. I feel like it's nice to support that.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, like I ended up getting the Japanese physical just because I'd already like redid a Play Asia order because of like the whole Baldur's Gate thing.
Right.
Where I wanted like the Larian version instead, and yeah, so I was like, I'm not going to cancel and redo that order a third time.
Yeah.
And besides, I have the Japanese physical of 1, 2, 3, so they go nicely together on my Switch shelf.
Okay, one more game I'll play. One more round of this, and we'll call it a night.
But yeah, I mean, it got me in such a Phoenix Wright mood that I'm kind of thinking I'll start. I might start Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2 this week and make it like my main like plane trip game. I think that would be a good airplane game.
Mm-hmm.
A good 8-hour flight game.
Yeah.
You should. I mean, if you don't play it this year, you should make Phoenix Wright one of your pledge games for next year.
Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. Before I started playing Tunic, I was like, well, maybe I'll play Psychonauts. I was gonna play something that was a pledge, but then I was like, I don't know what it was. I thought about Tunic, and I was like, oh, that just like sounds kind of fun. And then I popped it in, and I had seen you play it on Game Pass or something like that, like barely.
Yeah,
like,
when you were here, I just tinkered with it.
But I didn't even hear it or anything. But as soon as I heard the music, I was like, oh man, this is exactly the kind of game that, the sound of it is something that just made me want to play it, continue playing it. The music is so good. What people have said is totally true, where you need to, just don't look up anything.
Yeah.
And,
I love the idea behind it because, the developer, from what I read, the developer's native language is not English. So
yeah.
When they were a kid, they would look at these instruction manuals, and they could look at the pictures, but they couldn't understand the writing.
Right.
And so the way that it's written in this fictional language, or I think a language where you might understand parts of it, I forget exactly, but
there's some information
that's meant to evoke that feeling that they have, which sounds so cool.
It is. And if you find yourself stumped of where to go, you just look at the pages that you have collected, and you're like, oh, here's something that I didn't know I could do with these things. This information is on here, and all it is just, it shows the object, and it shows a button prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know I could hold this button down to do this thing, and it would activate these things. And suddenly a whole bunch more stuff opens up. But what I think is kind of cool is that, after playing through it the one time, you have that knowledge now, and you can actually probably do things in different orders, and probably play through it a lot quicker. Oh, I know that I can activate this thing because I'm passing by it right now. I just need to do this, or hold this button down. I saw that the Mega X6 saying has been a member for 22 months.
Oh yeah. I was about to get to that actually.
That's all right. Saying I really enjoyed the Twitch stream, and that's good. At first I was going to do just games I was thinking about getting rid of, but I was like, Yakuza would be a really fun game to play because I played the remake of it, and it's a game that I know how to play, and I will get something of value out of it, but also I know the story. So it's a kind of a unique situation where it's a new experience, but at the same time, I don't feel like I am missing out by playing it on a stream.
I can't believe I never heard that Mark Hamill plays Majima.
Yeah.
That absolutely blows my mind. I never heard that. Is he pretty good?
I've only seen him one time, and
because I feel like people have a hard time with English voice acting in those games.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes me want to play it just because Mark Hamill voice acting is amazing.
Yeah,
it's always amazing.
Yeah, I felt like the voice. I feel like you got to play those games in Japanese because it helps with the immersion of it.
Sure.
But since this is only done this way, I don't even think the U.S. version of 2 was dubbed, because I bet that the first one didn't do well enough to justify the cost to do it. And it's just kind of interesting because there's a lot of aspects that I didn't realize they were the same the way it is. It's that it has fixed cameras. throughout the city because it's a PS2 game. You know, you can't do like a completely 3D.
Oh, when you say fixed camera though, it moves with you. I assume it's not
right, and like will pan and tilt and stuff based on where you're at. But you know, you don't have that ground level view of everything, and so I think it's kind of neat to be able to experience it and also like be able to do it on a stream like that where we can kind of talk through it a little bit over a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on doing it on Tuesdays and Fridays. But of course, that all comes down to like what my workload is like. If I have, other things going on. I was thinking about maybe doing it Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but we'll see. Because
what time are you doing?
Usually like 8 to 9, a little bit after 9.
Okay, so pretty short.
Yeah.
How many people have been showing up?
Yeah, we've had like 40 people or something like the last two.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Especially since that's not someplace that we stream. Oh. So, what's everybody think about this game? Does it seem pretty cool? I mean, I talked about this a little bit in the games we played. I ended up buying this digital version when it was on sale because it's just kind of a cool game to have on your Switch for whatever.
You want to know what Drum and I watched off of your Vudu on Thursday?
Yeah.
We watched Alien and Aliens.
You've seen them though, right?
Yes, but only once, and it was a pretty long time ago. And Drum, likewise, like, had not seen them in forever, didn't really know them that well. And I mean, we've been talking for a while, like, doing all of Alien and Predator, which I know is supposed to be, have its plenty of downs. But I mean, don't say anything, but like I have for a long time like been optimistic about Alien 3 because like I don't know, like it just doesn't seem like something you can mess up.
Oh, have you never seen Alien 3?
No, and I don't want you to tell me anything about it.
Okay. Huh. That's very interesting. You don't even know anything about it.
I know there's a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, which is
well. So what I know
not very close to the movie.
We noticed that I think the Alien 3 you have on your Vudu is special edition.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing as the work print edition, which is it's not really restored, but it's more of the original story.
Because
that was notable because the studio like basically got involved and recut the entire
well,
movie.
and it sounds like the same thing happened with Aliens, and after we watched it and we then read up on some stuff, we kind of wish we'd watched, like, I guess I don't know what they call it, but like there is like a extended James Cameron cut, right?
Oh yeah, I don't feel like the extended cut is worth it. I feel like the James Cameron cut, like the special edition of Aliens, has like a whole scene like on what is it, LV-426, the planet, like before the aliens like were found, and like it's just like shows like daily life on there, and I feel like it totally like ruins like the surprise of like what has happened to this colony, because you kind of see them just like all like hanging out and going out and finding the crashed ship and stuff,
right?
But I think that it totally ruins the suspense. But there's another scene that's like not very long, but it kind of shows you how many aliens there are, where they set up all these like automatic turrets with like a whole bunch of ammunition, and that are like motion based. So they're just like shooting at all the aliens like coming at them, and they just keep on shooting and running out of ammo. Eventually they run out of ammo. So it kind of gives you an idea just how many there are. So
I mean, Joshua Helmke has dropped a spoiler here. Sigourney Weaver is the main character in Alien 3. I mean, I knew that. I mean, that's all you need to know, really. Like, again, how do you mess that up? Like, Sigourney Weaver's like always awesome, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you can't mess that up.
Well, when the studio takes it over and recuts the entire thing.
So wait, I mean, do you? I mean, without spoiling,
I don't think you can get the work print version like on any other. You can't stream it. I don't think.
Okay, so like the special edition is just.
It's probably just like yeah.
So the work print version, like, does it have like really bad quality or something?
I think that some of the shots are, yeah, because that's like kind of it's a quote unquote restoration of the original story that was like in the script. But then again, I don't know. Like I've come to terms with it, but immediately right off the bat, there's things in Alien 3 that made me not like it. So, especially since Aliens is one of my favorite movies of all time, it feels even more so. Like I'll be curious to see what you think.
I'm keeping an open mind.
Yeah. But at the same time, you should also think about how that was perceived coming off of the high of Aliens.
Sure. But I'm keeping an open mind.
And I don't even know, like, so Aliens was 86 or 87. And Alien 3 was like 91, I think. It's just, less, it was closer to Aliens than Aliens was to Alien.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be until after my trip that we get to Alien 3 because this week we're going to do Predator 1 and 2. Because we're going to go in release order of Alien and Predator movies. Which, again, I've seen Predator 1 and 2. But just, we're going to go in order.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Predator 2, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, you've said that many times. I didn't like it, and weirdly I saw it before I saw Predator. For whatever reason.
Interesting. Yeah. It's different. But they knew that they had to change the setting. But what is also very cool is that if you've seen Predator 2, so it doesn't matter if I talk about it.
It's been a long time.
Did you see that? Did you see Prey?
No. I have seen no movies in either series except the first two.
Okay. Well, Prey,
I hear, is really good.
It's very good, but it also finally capitalizes on what is hinted at the end of Predator 2, where Predators have been to Earth before, and they're always kind of testing themselves there, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of amazing that they had this idea that far back, and they were, for whatever reason, did not do anything with it.
Oh, here, let's see. Asking if we saw a trailer for Quiet Place prequel. How do you do a prequel of that movie?
It's just like the day that it happens.
I guess
it's like day 0 or something like that. I don't know. I've never actually seen them, so I don't.
Oh, you haven't seen? I mean, there's two.
Is
there more than one? Is there more than one? Are there two of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I've only seen the first, but it's really good. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't care what, as long as I'm getting a Twister sequel. Because the thing is that like Twister is actually like a real trash movie. It's like not very good.
Yeah,
it was what it was at the time, because I feel like that was the first like real like heavy CG heavy movie to follow after Jurassic Park. It was like the summer after Jurassic Park.
No, it was 90s. I just looked it up. It's 96.
Wait, Twister was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I guess then it would not. But it was still like in that time period, I guess, where
I mean,
CG was
mean, it was a big movie. I mean, it was at the very least, it was heavily marketed. Like,
yes,
it made its impression just from being so heavily marketed.
Yes, yeah. It's just so funny that like they're making another one now. Like who even cares at this point, right?
It's actually real. I mean, and you know what? The fact that they're doing it now and not doing it in 2026 when they could, like, say, 30 years later, and they're not.
Right.
Why do it now?
I don't know.
That sounds like a flop in the making, but I've not seen the first one, but like it doesn't sound like
you've never seen the first Twister?
I mean, is it worth watching just
I don't know. It's just like your eyes will roll into the back of your head when you're watching it. in a good way, where it's like, I can't believe how much of a nothing movie this is, and like how this movie was like a big hit when it came out. I don't know. There's just like nothing to it.
I mean, was it a big hit, or was it just?
No, it was definitely a big hit when it came out. It definitely. I saw it in the theater. I may have seen it opening night in the theater. But that's when I was at such an age where, we had just got, my friends and I had just gotten our driver's license, so it's like whenever a new movie is coming out, we'd go on Friday night to see it.
Okay. Game of Nostalgia says, "Have you seen Dante's Peak?" Though I have seen Dante's Peak.
I've never seen
liked it. I liked it a lot at the time, but I bet it does not hold up.
Probably not.
Which is probably what
that's got Pierce Brosnan in it, doesn't it?
Saw Twister. It does, yeah.
So that's a pre-Bond. Is it a pre-Bond Pierce Brosnan?
I didn't think it was. I doubt it. It couldn't be pre-Bond, could it? Let's see. No, it was 97, so it was like a couple years after GoldenEye. It was the same year that Tomorrow Never Dies came out.
Okay. Man, I played that. I finally got around to playing the Xbox version of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is it like real difficult to aim in it?
I don't really remember how it controls.
I don't know if it's just the controls were very touchy, but it was very hard to be precise with your aiming.
I honestly don't remember. I mean, I think Perfect Dark is really good on Xbox.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Anyways, I think that'll do it. That'll do it for this week. Hopefully everybody enjoyed seeing Arzette. Should buy it. Should buy it on Wednesday when it releases. Thanks to Seth for joining in. Hope he feels better.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone has a great week. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight. And we'll see you next weekend.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.